Hello, welcome to the Strimstream. I'm your host, Strimtom, and today I'm going to be editing my camera so it doesn't look so incredibly bright. I'm also going to be turning on a light behind me that I forgot to turn on. And today, on the Strimstream, in the past we had taken a little bit of a trip. I'm going to be walking away from the camera for a second because I just realized, oh, it's not long enough, this cable. Oh god, give me a second. I swear I'm totally ready, and I'm not, not prepared or something. I'm not just throwing this together. Oh, God. Okay. Here we go. There we go. Alrighty. I'm still not ready. That's not supposed to be on screen. Perfect. Alright, good. So, hello. Welcome to the Strimstream. Today, we're going to be looking at how my Ranger build has been faring in the epic levels. So I'm going to talk about that a little bit to start off here. But of course, at the beginning, as always, we're going to do our gold roll that I get every week because I pay for the game. If you want to enjoy this game to the fullest, I highly recommend you throw your money at Turbine and give it, and then it'll give you all some wonderful bonuses like the 100, or you roll a 4. Some people like me roll 4s, so I only got 1,000 experience. It's disappointing. But that was my weekly roll. Wow, that was disappointing. Oh well, I still got my silver one. Let's see what we get here. I pay Turbine. I figured they'd do me a little something, give me, do that favor for me. But boom, look at that. Doesn't matter. Leveled up in my Epic Destiny, so that's fantastic. So, this character build, how's it going? Well, the answer is, it's a mixed bag. So right now I'm currently running a Draconic Incarnation. The largest reason is because it gives me a little bit of acid spell power. So with Draconic Incarnation and my new Thunderforged Ally Longbow, it brings me up to 336 spell power right now. That's a lot! It's a lot of spell power. So I'm adding a lot to my damage. That's fantastic. I'm not using the Silver Longbow anymore. That might be confusing to you. It's confusing to me as well. I'm not entirely sure why I'm not running the Silver Longbow, but it just felt like time to upgrade. The base damage on this is 14 to 44. Silver Longbow was like 4 to 12 or something. So the base damage on this is a lot higher, and if I happen to be hitting anything that's a dragon, I'm going to be doing a billion more damage. Plus this gives me 180 spell power on my acid. That's not too bad. Other than that, there's no real changes to the build. However, I have noted that the new items, I'll get rid of this character sheet, the new items that they've added to the game have added a lot to what you can do with your character. So, for example, I found this item here, this Hardy Necklace of Physical and Magical Resistance. This is an awesome item! Physical and Magical Resistance, so essentially reduces the damage I take from physical and magical attacks by 20%, and it gives me, plus 6 to my Constitution, so at this point, that's 72 extra life. And I like life, everybody knows that. If you watch this stream, you know how much I like life. So, can't get enough of that. I haven't replaced all my items, but just Insightful Magical Sheltering, so even more magical resistance, and Strength. 7 Strength on a level 16 item, that's crazy. 8 Constitution and 100 Spell Power for my Impulse, my Force Damage. So the new items are decent. You're still going to end up running a Thunderforged Alloy weapon, because I don't think that you can get a better weapon until you get the new Legendary Green Steel, but for my purposes, the Thunderforged Alloy is really, really good. So, why am I in Draconic Incarnation? The largest reason is because I'm just trying to level it up, and I'm going to be respecking this character once I've finished it at 28. I'm going to be respecking it into straight intelligence, and I'm going to be testing out going straight intelligence, full spell power build, dropping the Deepwood Stalker, going full Harbor Agent, and trying to get as much spell power as possible, and then going in Draconic Incarnation with full intelligence, and seeing how that'll work out as an alternative. Might be good, might be bad, I don't know. Either way, I have to level it up first, so I'm doing that now. Although normally I would be running in Shirati Champion, just because it gives range power, which is great. It gives a bunch of chance to hit, and I don't know, a bunch of damage, so you have random chance to add damage. Plus, this Nerve Venom is awesome. Giving that extra chance to stun on every attack, considering how many times, with your extra double shot, it's fantastic. Currently I'm running these 3. Because I don't have an unlimited amount of fate points, I'm running these 3 twists. Action Boost Haste from the Legendary Dreadnought. This is a huge damage increase when you have many shot active, so if you stack the 2, it's crazy how much damage you get. I'm running Lithe from the Rogue. Not Rogue. I say Rogue, but it's Shadow Dancer. Lithe from Shadow Dancer is fantastic. Plus 6 to my Reflex Save, Armor Class, and Light Armor Dexterity bonus. Essentially means it's plus 12 Armor Class because it gives me an extra 6 to my Dexterity, so I can add more Dexterity onto it. And it gives a bunch of Reflex Save, which I kind of like since I have Evasion. And then lastly, Primal Scream just gives me more life and some more strength. Can't go wrong there. That's what I would be running, but because I'm leveling up my Draconic Incarnation, I will be running a Draconic Incarnation for now. So what you're going to see is essentially, anytime I use a Draconic Incarnation spell, I'm going to be unlocking Energy Burst during the stream. Nothing is going to ever fail its reflex save. They're all going to make their saves. However, it's still going to do a lot of damage, and you have to imagine how much damage I'd actually be able to do if I was, appropriately geared, or appropriately spec'd out. So today we're going to be doing Giant Hold, the epic version. I know I did Giant Hold before. We're going to be revisiting Giant Hold, but now in the epic levels and with a lot of the new sick and insane gear. Also, hello Rothko45. It's good to see you're watching the stream. Hopefully you'll have a good time. As much fun as I will. It's going to get a hell of a lot of fun. I'm going to go to Giant Hold. I'm going to kill some giants. So I'm going to type in the level range. I don't really care who joins, so everyone's allowed to join. If you happen to have a character between level 20 and 30, feel free to jump in. And we're going to be doing all of Giant Hold just like we did 2 weeks ago, I believe. We're going to be doing on Epic Hard. And I'll explain why once we get started. But Giant Hold, Saga, Beast, Cabal, Crucible, Madstone, Trial by Fire, Maze, Pop, Discord, Cry, Tor. Bam. Now, we're not going to be doing this on Epic Elite. We're only going to be doing it on Epic Hard. So once this character hit Epic levels, I wasn't sure how it was going to fare. It destroys Heroic. It's such a joke. It makes the entire game a complete joke. I posted my build on the DDO forums, and a lot of people have gotten a lot of feedback on it. And so suggestions and just a lot of comments about it and discussion that have come up from it. But the most important thing is I've seen people start to use it, and they've sent me messages of, wow, I didn't know the game could be so easy. I don't even have to do anything. Great build. So it's ridiculous how much easier it makes the game. So I wasn't sure how it would work once you hit epics, when the damage and the amount of damage enemies do, the amount of life enemies have, changes a lot. And what I learned... Hey, I already have someone who's joining. Welcome, welcome. Yeah, give me that list. But I learned... Ooh, oh yeah, I forgot. I have to hand in a bunch of these quests. I don't think any of these are good. No. Unless it's acid, I don't really want to take anything. And just in case, always grab a hireling. Because having a hireling means you don't have to, if in case nobody joins, you still have someone to play with. Yeah, give me that. Is that of corrosion? Man, that's ridiculous. I looked for so long for a bow that had corrosion on it. Oh, that makes me mad. I'm happy I found an item of corrosion, but no, that makes me mad. Okay. I just gotta handle this quest. But the issue is that on Epic Elite, the monsters do too much damage. It's not that you can't kill them, you can. And so if you're in a group, you provide a lot during Epic Elite, because you can kill monsters extremely quickly on Epic Elite, because you do so much damage. However, you die. This build's not protective enough. You don't have really any good defensive options in this build. And it's... Transmutation, Insightful Transmutation? Wow, okay, I'm gonna keep that. I don't know what useful transmutation spells there are, but, you know, you never know. I think that's everything. Oh yeah, I gotta get the quest from the guy. So I'm gonna get this quest from Horl. Okay, this quest. Return to Cabal. Perfect. But essentially in Epic Elite, the monsters hit you too hard. So your armor class isn't gonna be high enough to stop anything from hitting you on Epic Elite. So that's just a fact. Everything is gonna... I hate clicking the door. This door is so hard because I keep clicking the other door. There we go. Yeah, you're never going to be able to actually defend yourself against anything. So checking here, I have a 30% chance to dodge. 30% chance means that there's an 87% chance that I'm going to get hit for almost my entire life bar. That's kind of bad. So you don't really have any good defenses there. There might be some items you could get to make you tankier, but as far as I can tell, just by hitting level... Like, once you hit level 30, once you hit level 20, Epic Elite is a bit too tough to do right away by yourself. If you have help, it's not that bad. So if you're in a group, you can just tear guys to pieces like it's a joke. You do so much damage. However, if you're by yourself, you might be hard-pressed to actually get a lot of that stuff done. It can be quite challenging. So I'd recommend just sticking with, you know, your standard epics. on Epic Hard. However, the good thing is, if you like doing Epic Hard or Epic Normal, you've got the right build. This character at level 20, I did a quick run through of a bunch of quests on Epic Hard, and including this giant hold, and well, actually not this giant hold, sorry, including a couple other quests. So I did the whole Vault of Night thing, all the standard ones you do for XP. Welcome, welcome. We just started Feast or Famine. All the quests you would standard do for XP. Welcome, just started Feast or Famine. Oh my god, everyone's joining. Welcome, just started Feast or Famine. I'm gonna say that so often. I apologize if it sounds like I'm saying it like I'm some kind of programmed robot or something, because it sounds identical every time I say it. But yeah, this character build could do pretty much everything on Epic Hard immediately upon reaching level 28. There was no slowdowns, nothing. Wizard King is normally pretty decently hard if you have no way to heal yourself, and if you get cursed, but since you can just remove curses pretty darn easy, it was a no-brainer. You just run in and start killing everything. Because you don't have to worry about any kind of damage reduction effects, and you can heal yourself really easily, there's pretty much nothing in the game that will stop you. As long as... Now, there's some, importance. You should, if you're playing by yourself, always try to run on a cleric. Oh, is my server not showing? Oh, there it is. This is Galanda, by the way. This song is not very good. You should always try to run with a cleric if you have nobody else around, just because it's nice when you don't have to pay attention to your healing. So if you're solo, you can just have somebody standing behind you and healing you at all times. But, as I said, once you have all your buffs active, you start ripping people apart. It's kind of funny how much damage you do. No, I actually did have it turned off. I clicked it off by accident. I didn't mean to have the server thing not there. It was a mistake. So in epics, your damage is going to change a lot into just coming straight from your bow as opposed to your acid damage. The acid still does a lot. You have to understand, I'm adding 150 to 200 damage every single time I shoot someone, which is a considerable amount of damage. If it makes your consistent damage decently good, and it makes anything that boosts your attack speed really, really, really strong. However, it's not super reliable to be able to keep your attack speed very high all the time, and very consistent, smooth damage curves, while they are nice, they definitely don't do as much damage as those really spiky damage curves where you can kind of just spike it and get a bunch of kills right away. Ooh. I love having Rogue around. Anybody that can get all these extra chests, now that they've changed over the loot system, getting all those extra chests is freaking sweet! I love being able to just pop open a chest, grab some sick items like this. Metamorphic Goggles of Transmutation, plus 7 to your transmutation DCs. I don't even know if there are good transmutation spells, but that's fantastic. We're going to find out at some point. I mean, I know that sounds silly, but... So yeah, this character, as far as I can tell, fares pretty well in epics. I'm very satisfied with it. It still has the same problems of, like, what is this? Like, the Merciful Shot not working half the time, which is something you can't really change or fix. However, it still has the added benefit of being able to dispel all the negative effects off of bosses and bigger creatures, so when you face those skeletal enchanters in Madstone, especially if you're doing Madstone on Epic Elite, those skeleton enchanters have, like, 15,000 life or something like that. Just a ridiculous amount of life. Being able to just pop them instantaneously because you can tear off all their debuffs, it's pretty nice. Oh, I think you're right. I think Disintegrate is transmutation. Ooh. Ooh. That could be nice. Really high DC on your Disintegrate. I thought Disintegrate was Conjuration, but I think I might be wrong. I think Conjuration is like Acid Blast and Nyax only. I know Abjuration is like Dismissal and stuff. Yeah, I think it's within the context of the game. I think it's just I think it's just Disintegrate, if it is Disintegrate. Now, what's really important is that I'm not currently the damage captain. I'm not the guy who's doing the most damage right now. We are with No Refills, who not only does he have an incredible name, I love the name No Refills, I think that's hilarious. He also is a level 30 barbarian with a green steel weapon, a legendary one, so I can only assume he does a lot more damage than I could possibly do. If I was level 30 and in the right destiny, I might be able to catch him a little bit on damage, but I don't think I would. Yeah. So, but this build's pretty good. It's holding up. It's definitely not as good as it was in Heroics. In Heroics, you just walk around the game and everything dies before you. You don't have to do anything. It's like, ha ha ha, I'm the king. You don't have to worry about anything. However, it's still really strong in epic levels. It's a reliable character build. It'll carry you all the way up to level 30, no problem. And its single target damage is still hilarious. You're gonna pull if you stand in front of a target with many shot and your action boost haste going, and you're actually in Shirati champion. I don't know if there's anyone at range who can keep up your damage. There might be some melee classes that could do it, but at range, I don't think it's possible for a single character in the game to do it. Goodbye. I think the only way you could potentially do it better is if you are doing same build, but you actually are able to keep your blitz going. If you're in Legendary Dreadnought instead of Shirati. Welcome. We just finished Feast or Famine and are heading into Cabal. Reconstruction of Repair Lore. And it's a comma. That's kind of nifty. Yeah, highly recommend if you haven't seen it yet. I should link it. I should have that on hand, shouldn't I? Things that I should do. Builds. Yeah. I highly recommend if you want to get into playing a ranged class, you should take the opportunity to check out this build. I've heard nothing but good things, but I'm also incredibly biased. I don't know where I'm supposed to link that. I kind of wish I had if I had access to a bot that I could put in the chat, then you could type a command or something. But I'm pretty lazy. I haven't set that up, so. Now return to Cabal. Make sure everyone has all the quests, in case they don't. But that guide works for this build. As I said, it is better in Heroics for sure than it is in Epics, but that doesn't mean it gets worse in Epics. It's so strong in Heroics. It's like Warlock. Warlock will carry you all the way through Heroics like it's a joke, and then once you get to Epics, you'll start to see these barbarians, out DPSing you at every single corner. Oh my god. I always forget to cast my energy sheath. Also, didn't I take Quicken? I did take Quicken. I never put it on my bar. Hilarious. Cool. Now all my spells are quickened. I should have done that. I don't know why I didn't. I was unlocking my bow today, or collecting the Thunderforged ingots, and I hadn't leveled up enough, or I was having trouble fighting stuff because I couldn't heal quick enough because I didn't have Quicken on. I never put it on my bar. It's really dumb. The reason I have Quicken is just to make buffing easier when I start out at the beginning of a quest, and also, if I get into a bind, I can very quickly Quicken heal myself. Oh, the wolves are so cute because they still have their antlers. See, I don't know. I've mentioned this every single time, but I'm going to keep bringing it up every single time. I would do almost anything to have that as a cosmetic. To be a winter wolf, but have the antlers. Because it's adorable and I want it. So, if there is a Turbine employee watching right now, I'm telling you, you'll get so much money from me. I will pay so many dollar bills. My bank account will just empty. I'll just write a check to Turbine blank in return. Blank check. It's cool. Cabal. Just because, being a doggy with little antlers. Yeah. Anyway, so there's a boss in this room. This guy back here, Olos. So we're just going to kill him really fast. If you were actually watching the camera instead of the game screen, what you would have saw is me spilling coffee all over my lap and my body. So I'm going to clean this up. And my keyboard. Because I wasn't looking at my coffee cup and I just spilled it everywhere. Oh my god. I was like focusing on the game and trying to shoot the guy, and I thought I could just drink coffee with like one hand without looking. I was sorely mistaken. I didn't realize how incredibly challenging that would end up being at the end of the day. Now these, anytime you see an Arzag Core Lore Master, the best part about Dispelling Shot is that you can go and you can take away their displacement. They have to waste time casting it again, which they will, but not only will they waste time casting it again, so on Epic Elite you basically stop them from doing anything, because they'll just keep casting that spell over and over, but it also means all of your allies can assist you with that, because most barbarians and people, or especially players that aren't as experienced, I say barbarians, that's like discriminatory against barbarians by saying they're like barbarians and they're not very smart. But most players who don't have too much experience, or even just don't have the extra item space, won't have True Seeing on, so they won't be able to, you know, hit enemies if they have displacement and other effects, blur effects on. So by being able to dispel that off the enemies, it's pretty good. Was there a chest? Where? Oh, where's Fiona? Oh, Fiona's back there. Oh, she unlocked the chest back there. Okay, that's fine, whatever. I don't care about that. I could care about that, but I don't. How do I stun that guy? Wait. Crushing Blow. Oh, that was my Colors of the Queen. Where's the damage at? Oh, damn it. Bear in mind, this character goes from sustained to bursty really fast. So you're still going to be able to do as much damage as... When you're not critting, it's not so good, and when you're not multi-shotting. As I said, I'm in the wrong Epic Destiny, because I'm just trying to level up my Draconic Incarnation. However, when you are doing this build, bear in mind that most of your damage is going to still be very bursty. When you have Many Shot up, you're going to be doing nearly infinite amounts of damage in a very, very, very short period of time. Whereas if your Many Shot is down, you won't be doing that. Give you an example. Actually, we're about to go to the final boss, so I'm not going to use my Many Shot right now. But what you will... Hey, stop that. Oh, somebody Rejuve Cocooned me. That's weird. Oh, I should have Rejuvenation Cocoon. That's a spell I should have. But I'll show you the damage, man. Let me show you when we hit the boss fight. Now, of course, it's not going to be no barbarian one-shot damage. Like that. I don't have the... I can have, like, the nice one-shots, but I just don't always hit that hard. But this character, the single target sustained is kind of ridiculous when I have the opportunity to actually sit down and just fire at a single target. I gotta be Shirati, though. Ooh, Primal Scream. Cool. So what we do, you want to see the single target, so I turn on my attack speed and my Many Shot, and I start shooting at King Bendix. And you just see damage numbers be going up really, really fast. Same thing with this guy, if he stops moving, actually. Most important thing is making sure you get off your hunted foe, because it means you're pretty much guaranteed to crit, and you hit almost every single time. But being able to do like about 3,000 damage an arrow while you have your Many Shot active is kinda nice. What is this? Crucible. If you do not know Maze, please follow me. That's why this is, it's one of those things where it's really, really good in non-epics. So when you're leveling through heroics, that's why the build, I assumed it wasn't going to do too well in heroics, because it doesn't scale that well, the extra damage, because the health numbers go up, and you can't crit with the acid damage. I actually don't have Slaying Arrow. That's kind of important. This build goes for a constant damage output as opposed to like a burst damage output against single target bosses. So it gives you a better 20-second burst window. So instead of being Fury of the Wild, which is an option because you get the adrenaline, so it makes your next attack do triple damage and get ridiculous critical threat range. Even it's an option. I could do that. It's one of the things, like, I haven't tested it fully for epics. So if you guys do have suggestions, please let me know. So I will have to test out, I will have to test out Fury of the Wild. I want to do testing more when I hit 30, as opposed to, like, while leveling up. We'll end while leveling up a little bit, just so I can get a better feel for it. But it's one of those things where it's kind of hard to actually get a good read for it. It's really easy to see your damage when you're doing heroics. Oh, I have a ring for this. Or a hat. Is it a ring or a hat? I don't know what's in here. I think it's a ring. Yeah, Gracious Ring of Diplomacy. So I put this on. Gives me 52 diplomacy. Hilarious! And I believe I have Intimidate as well. Cool. Did I get everybody? Oh, I do not have a bluff. Cool, somebody might have bluff. I do not. This ring that I picked up, which is really nice, it's a 18 diplomacy plus 9 insightful diplomacy, so 27 points of diplomacy for one item. It's hilarious! So, perfect. Alrighty. Ooh, here we go. Alright, what do we got here? Legendary Dreadnought, Twist In, Pin, Autos, Cocoon. Or Twist In, Sense Weakness, Pin, Cocoon. Pin? What is pin? Is that like an acronym I don't know? I can't think of that. I know weakness. Weakness is sense weakness, which is way too good. Do all 4 when I hit 30. Yeah. I'm gonna test out everything once I hit 30 because I want to get a good sense of it, but I'm also gonna try it. Shirati seems pretty good. Legendary Dreadnought isn't very good most of the time. It's great for raids, but unless you're in a raid, Legendary Dreadnought kind of sucks. And the reason I say that is because you can't keep up the blitz. Like in this quest, you just can't keep up the blitz. There's too much shit happening, so you're not blitzing, so you're not getting that 70 range power. So that's not very good. In Madstone, it's okay. You can blitz pretty well in Madstone. Because there's generally a lot of things to kill, but there's also a lot of running around if you just happen to not get lucky. It just kind of sucks. So it's one of those things where it's really good in a like a raid situation where you can do really consistent damage. But if you can't do consistent damage, so for example, if you're running around in Thunderholm, then yeah, man, Blitz is awesome. But there are a lot of situations where Blitz just isn't very good because you can't keep the damage up. And the burst option, especially if you just get unlucky, I've gotten unlucky. I had a character that attacked about 3 times a second. I was playing Vanguard, so you get the shield attacks, and I had almost 80% attack speed with 100% double strike, and I wouldn't be able to keep my Blitz up because it wouldn't proc. I'd just be wailing on a guy and not being able to keep the Blitz up. So it's kind of disappointing. Alright, so I have to focus on this because I'm doing this. I don't know where the rest of the team is, but it's okay. The maze is relatively easy. You have to remember it's just you left and then you go right. Ow. Why am I... Ow. Why does this hurt so much? Get out of here, monsters. This is my corner. You understand? So just, it kind of sucks that the Destiny... Well, you do understand. The Destiny that I'm in just isn't very good for my build. I just want to level it up, so I'll have it. Alright, Perfect. Now let's see here. Yeah, Legendary Dreadnought would be really good, and so would Fury of the Wild. I think Fury of the Wild would be amazing because of all the adrenaline charges. I just don't really have a way to oh my god, the champion monsters. Goodbye. Alright, cool. I have 2 crests. Do you think double strike proc on a cleave? Yes, you can. You can double strike on a cleave. Anything that counts as a melee attack can double strike. Anything. Same with double shot. And if it's ranged, it can double shot. Normally I don't type when I play the game, but I'm typing right now simply because I want to make sure he follows me. So he'll do everything I say. If I talk in chat, some people can't hear so good, so I don't want that to happen. Cool. I don't have that crest. But yeah, double striking, and anything that's a special attack can double strike or double shot. So for example, the reason why you use many shot, but then you immediately after use sniper shot, is so you get 2 sniper shots. Uh-oh, gotta save Xenia. Where'd Xenia go? Oh, the second one. Look at that. Turn around, monster. Alright. Wait? What do I wait? Yeah. I try to test out a lot of the mechanics in this game to make sure I understand how they work. So that's why I spend a lot of time with that, a couple other things. There's a couple bugs that I need to evaluate that I saw some posted on Reddit that I wanted to look into. I just didn't have time before I got home from work today in between the stream. One of them is a bug with Whirlwind Attack and the damage. Apparently the damage only actually does full damage or people are saying is the damage only does full damage if you are using unarmed. If you're not unarmed, you don't do full damage. I don't know if that's true or not, but we're going to find out. Oh, jeez, there's a Soul Howler up there. So I want to test that out. Oh, I don't know where Fiona is. Alright, great. I want to make sure everyone gets through, so... Oh, he's coming. Cool. I want to make sure everybody follows, so that way nobody gets stuck. I apologize if I'm not reading chat right now. I'm just gonna make sure everyone gets out safe. No, no, please, no, please. I don't want people doing other things. Okay, cool. Stand right here. The trick with the maze is you go right and then to the left. Oh, Fiona's dead. Alright, we can fix this. Can fix. Soulstone. Perfect. So I can't raise the dead, but what I can do... I want everyone to go north from the middle. You make sure I is turned to the right thing, so you want this I door to be closed, so you go to the right side. Perfect. Oh man. Greater command. I'm gonna kill this Soul Howler here. Bam. Perfect. Alright, so now everyone comes north. You go north, then we grab the horn, it falls apart, and we go out. Bam! Easy peasy. That's how you do the maze. No problemo. It's one of those things where you could just do it enough and to know it, or you can just memorize the pattern, which is you just start on the right, you hit I a bunch of times, you get both the crests, then you go back, you get the other crest behind the door on K, and then you just put them all in the door sockets. Cast Merfolk's Blessing on everyone so that they can swim real good. And you're good to go. Yeah. So, when looking at a lot of the different options, Fury of the Wild is definitely one that I think it could be very good. The issue is adrenaline charges. Because you don't really have a great way to get your... I'm pretty sure you don't really have an amazing way to get your adrenaline charges back. It's kind of a little bit limiting. Now, clearly, when you're looking at, like... that's annoying. Oh, God. Oh, jeez, this is gonna kill me. Ooh, I made my saves. That doesn't happen very often. I'll tell you that much. Get explosives. Click on the thing, turn around, hit the U key while... stand on the platform, hit the U key, and run away! Oh, God! Oh, blades and stuff. Perfect. I don't know if anyone diploed the kobold. We're gonna find out. Diplo the kobold. Perfect. Oh, someone did that. Cool, never mind. Cool. Someone did the boxes already. Sounds good. Always try to get boxes when you're doing quests like this. This is worth 80,000 XP. Get the boxes. It's worth it. Takes a little bit of time, but whatever. Yeah, I may not have the absolute most damage. The thing is, it's really hard to say, because you don't see the damage, because it's not these ridiculous numbers. But I can ever so consistently in every single quest, I'll have the highest kill count. Because you reach the targets first, because you're ranged, and because it's not based on multiple hits. Oh, I've evasion. I could do this. Or is he just gonna do it? Yeah, let me do it. No. Well, he has accelerated metabolism, so he's healing a lot. Whoa, that lasts an hour? I just poured coffee on myself again. Holy crap. But yeah. I think it's hard to see the damage because you don't see it generally with all the numbers coming up, because there's so many, and it's hard to actually add them all together to get that big number. But when the acid damage is ranging from about 140 to 200, that's on every single hit, and then the physical is about 100 on every hit. So it's a lot of damage. Yeah, you can sort of raged until your next attack, so... What was it? Oh, Vorpal on a melee. That's the thing, you can't gain adrenaline uses unless you're melee, and this character is not melee. And forcing myself to do melee stuff is like a bad idea. This character's not about being balanced or something, this character's about doing the absolute most damage in the shortest time possible, and you do that by doing a bow. Like this. So how I can just sit here and just bombard the enemies and take them down? Obviously it's because I have many shot active, which is what's adding all my damage here. But... Oh, range can do it as well? Because this character does get a lot of Vorpal hits, so it's good. Did somebody pull it already? Green 5, cool. 4, 5. Cool. Now somebody needs to do the swim. And I can do that because I'm a ranger. And I can do anything. And I have evasion mostly. Oh god, I can't tab target the guy I want to. Gotta get that dispelling shot going along all three. Oh, baby. Now whenever you're gonna do this swim, the most important thing is to make sure you hit Merfolk's Blessing. Cool. And I've got a heal on me. Heal over time. So the trick is you don't really need to have a reflex save or like high armor if you don't really hit most of the spikes. Now of course I just hit 2. No, that was a Filth Fever save. Never mind. Thought I hit a spike, which I did not. I did not. Yeah, well, ranged, especially with a bow, has been really bad. Ever since they released Artificer, Artificers do so much damage, and they're really, really good, because repeating crossbows are really good. Like, repeating crossbows were always really good, even at the beginning of the game. I know a lot of people, when the level cap was 10, that played classes Paladin, Fighter, that just used repeating crossbows, because they were so good, because you didn't have to get into melee. Like, that's OP! Not being melee is ridiculous. I just frogged that guy. And I crit him for 700. 700. The trick to doing the swim is you just be a man. You just swim through it as fast as you can. That, or there's actually a second trick. Play a fair amount of Counter-Strike. If you play a decent amount of Counter-Strike, you can be pretty good with the swim. And you don't really get hit by anything. It's all about that mouse precision, yo. Whee! And then the last one is a 50-50 chance of whether it actually hits you. I find it usually doesn't if you're going fast enough. Now I can actually drink my coffee without spilling it. Let's try. Oh, baby. Oh man, we're only at Vandal bonus? That's not good. Or it's not good enough, really. I gotta light myself on fire. Oh my god. Soul Howler, that's what I want to hit. Pack Leader, goodbye. As I said, it's one of those things where you can't really see the damage that much, but it's there, I promise, it's there. The largest thing is also, most of the damage, especially in AoE packs, if you can stand back like this on a hallway and just kind of layer arrows down, as long as you're tabbing onto whatever's in the back, you're always hitting tabs, you're focusing on whatever in the back, you're hitting a lot of targets in between. So even though I wasn't looking at the damage, I'm now at 40 kills, so I'm almost half of all of the kills. Just because you get to add so much damage by shooting through guys at a range. That, and also, you can make yourself look really good. It's one of the most important things about this build, is just kill stealing like crazy. Because if you want to look really good, you should try to kill steal almost everything. Because if you look at the score at the end, look at that, 40 enemies killed? Damn, how did he do so much? Straight up kill stealing. That's how you do it. And everyone's like, man, that build must be really good. And you can be like, yeah, of course it is, you should play it. And then nobody knows you're actually just kill stealing everything. Now, I kid, it's actually decently good, but kill stealing is also a very important part of the game. Somehow we didn't get all the breakables smashed. I don't know which ones we missed. Also, the trick with this one, target, so this guy, the Null, he's going to shoot with his bow. So what you do, to maximize your damage on this build, is you stand behind the Null, and then you target Vral whenever they become active, and then you just target Vral, and you stand in between Vral and the Null, or like on the other side, so that the Null is always between you and Vral. That way, you'll always be getting hits on both, like a boss. Who went AFK? Oh, no refills. Okay. Like so. Now I'm hitting 2 of them at the same time. In fact, if you get all 3 in a line, that's obviously the best option. That's not always going to happen. So I don't know if you can see all that damage there, but yeah, I do a decent amount of damage. Now, of course, now I'm not doing nearly as much damage. Still doing a decent amount, but not nearly as much. But like I said, the damage is decently good, especially when in a situation like that where you can very easily get very high burst. Hello, Mandalrisms. Mandrill Sims? Mandrill Sims? I don't know. I'm trying, man. I'm trying. Is there boxes I can smash? Nice. Okay, good. Talk to the giant. Bam. 111,000 XP. Oh, baby. So next is Madstone. And I had caps lock on. Oh, baby. Backstabber's gloves. Well, mine give me wizardry, which I don't really need. This gives me a lot of sneak attack, which I also don't really need. I don't know if I actually want these. Because I have mana that I don't need, but these give armor piercing. I think I'd actually rather the sneak attack damage? I don't know anymore. Oops, picked up shurikens I didn't want. Cool. Also, by typing Madstone in all capital letters, it makes me sound angry, like it's like, Madstone! I swear, this is just coffee, not like heroin or something. Alright, popping into town, gonna quickly level up and grab my energy burst. Obviously we're gonna do acid since I do primarily acid. Nice. And yeah. And now I have energy burst. I don't know how good this is. I don't really need to go out with a bang. Where do I want to put this? Energy burst. What button is energy burst gonna go on? I'll put that there. I'll put that on 4. So then we're going to see what happens. I don't know how much damage the energy burst is going to do. Because I can just go boom and do the energy burst like so. It costs me 20 mana. That's it? It only costs 20 even though it's quickened? That seems surprising. The nice thing about this is, especially with this build, is while you're running around, it's really easy to just rack up, you know, Slayer, just walking around. When the game starts lagging out, you're kind of limited, like right now, because all my arrows are just like disappearing and not showing up. I'm stuck. Help! Help! Lag. So that's a point where it does become difficult. I'm gonna see how much damage I can. Oh right, I'm auto-hitting this guy. Oh, he died before my energy burst hit him. Damn it. Not all of them, though. There are many that don't do that. That's why I wasn't sure. Like, for example, Ruin doesn't get it. So I wasn't sure if Energy Burst did. I thought I remembered Energy Burst not getting it for free. Ooh, goodbye. Either way, I just want to see how the damage works on here without Maximize or Empower. I do have 300 spell power, so it should be decent. The problem is they'll always make their save. Thanks for playing. So, still 2400. Even though I have no intelligence whatsoever, and I'm not maxed out on my spell power, 2400 extra burst damage and like an AoE around me is just kind of nice. If you're trying to spam through like Epic Normal or something, it's kind of nice. Also, very important about this build and why Arcanator is kind of good, you can throw on Morphic Arrows and change your damage type, so whenever you're fighting skeletons, you're going to be doing like way more damage than any Artificer would be, which is really nice. Let's turn this back on. Alright, so what did we do? We did Feast, Crucible, Cabal. Just got to recruit some more homies. We're going to do Madstone Crater. Put on all my buffs. I should really have this on like a separate bar. The problem is I have so many bars. Oh my god. Alright, good. I also burned up a lot of mana just kind of like because I could. Killing that Rune Tusk War Mage before he actually does anything. As I said, most importantly, make sure you're always positioning yourself in between your enemies so you're getting those sick double hits. Not gonna lie, I definitely did learn a lot of my sick double hitting skills from playing Call of Duty. When Modern Warfare 2 came out, they added the, instead of Deep Impact, the perk, they changed it so that it was a gun augment called Full Metal Jacket that allowed you to shoot through enemies and surfaces better. And then if you got 40 bullet pen kills with a weapon that had Full Metal Jacket on it, welcome, we have just started Madstone Crater. If you got 40 bullet penetration kills with Full Metal Jacket, it unlocked extended mags. And extended mags made your weapons look really, really goofy. Because you would do something like equip the RPD, which is the 100-shot machine gun, and you would get extended mags. So it would go from 100 to 200 shots. So you just would never reload. You never needed to reload, and it was hilarious. And it was one of the most fun things to do in the game. Oh, that hit. Okay, so that actually still does a lot of damage, the energy burst. That's kind of nice. Or, as what my friend and I like to do, is you would get your P90, which already has a 50-round mag, the submachine gun, and then you would get the extended mags on it, so you have to get bullet pen kills with a submachine gun, which is hard enough as it is in that game, considering submachine guns don't have that much punch. Oh, hey, what? I can shoot these guys? I didn't realize you could just kill these guys right away. But you get your extended mags on your P90, and then they also added in dual wielding in that game, the akimbo feature. So you'd use the perk Bling to get 2 attachments. You'd use akimbo and extended mags, so you'd be dual wielding guns that had 100 rounds. You couldn't aim them at all, but we called it, because you had 100 rounds each, it was just almost like you had an RPD, which had 100 rounds in each hand. So we called it dual wielding RPD 90s, and it was totally useless, totally worthless, but it was really fun to unlock and then play with, because you could just run around shooting like hundreds of bullets. And it was really dumb. But I thought it was really fun. And it's something I think helped me, see penetration when it comes to like abilities like this a bit better. Because just doing that for so long, just trying to unlock it, because you really have to focus on trying to get bullet pen kills. Like, you'd see a guy, and then you'd wait to kill him before you could like get in between like a pipe or something. So, Madstone Enchanter, boom, he has displacement. Oops, so we disable the displacement. I swapped the button. And now my teammates can just go ahead and tear this guy a new hole. And if he puts it back on, which he probably will, doesn't matter. Oh, he wants me. Well, isn't that nice? So does the giant too, actually. Yeah, look at that damage, friends. So I agree with you. There's a point where it's like, man, where does all the damage come from? Because I honestly don't even know. Like, almost all the damage comes out of the base tree. Troll, whatever. Get some. Ooh, 2600. It feels so good. It feels so good. I like having big bursty spells, because just hitting for a lot feels really good. And the idea that I'm a ranger, but my energy burst does like 2,000 damage is really funny. It's just a really funny concept. That's why I'm excited to try this in full Draconic, but with the bow dealing full acid damage. So I'm thinking I should be able to get around 600 spell power with this build, if I go full intelligence. And with around 600 spell power, like that's a lot of spell power, guys. I'm thinking like maybe 300 damage per arrow, and then also, the bursts and the breath, doing a decent amount. Now the problem with this build is it has no spell crit whatsoever. So it's all just base damage. Not terrible, but just straight base damage. So, I've never been a big fan of crits, to be honest. I've generally preferred base damage as an option. It's one of the reasons why I couldn't really fall in love with Diablo 3. Great game, but every single build devolves into a crit build unless you're playing support. Or at least when I was playing, every single build devolved into a crit build. And that was the only way to scale your damage. And I like games where you have the option to scale things without crit. It's hard to scale things without crit in this game, admittedly. Like, Turbine does not make it easy to scale things without crit. But it is doable. That's really what matters to me. Is that I can play a character that doesn't have to crit. I'm going to head to Summoner 2. They're going to do Summoner 1 back over here. Or Chanter Seer? This quest, especially, it's always good to split up if you can, because it just makes it easier on or faster. If you know you can do something by yourself, just split up. Energy Burst! Of course, they're going to make their reflex save pretty often against your abilities, because if you're playing the build like I'm playing it, I have no intelligence. So I don't even know how it has a 34 save as its default. I don't even understand how that's possible. Also, this guy gave me deadly weapons, which is hilarious, because it gives me an awesome amount of damage. Like, critting for 800 on my just my straight physical, considering I focus mostly on the elemental damage. Feels good, man. Although I don't expect anything to fail their save on Epic Elite. Whenever you're fighting anything that's any kind of undead, make sure to always hit it with the Mark of the Hunted so you can crit it. Gotta be crit. Because even though this build doesn't scale too hugely off crit, there's no reason you shouldn't at least still be able to critically hit. Critically hitting is just fun. Oh, you failed your road test? Oh, man. That sucks, dude. Well, if it makes you feel better, I do feel safer on the road. So, that's good. Just give it a shot. Just, try again. Make sure whatever feedback you get on your test, because they'll always give you feedback, make sure you, really think about it and then practice and improve on that skill. Because, you gotta be safe on the road. Uh-oh. Oh, Ogre. Oh god, that one hurt. That's another thing about this build. So you really have no defensive options in this build. Your defensive options is killing everyone before they get to you. If you don't kill people before they get to you, they're just going to destroy you. That's why this character is not too good on Epic Elite. You don't really have a good way to stop people from getting to you, other than killing them. And on Epic Elite, you generally can't kill them before they get to you. Yeah, don't go through stop signs. This skeleton's going to kill me. Oh, the skeleton's going to kill me. I gotta turn around. Champion giant skeletons, by the way, are always priority number 1. So that's what you can see is Zootopia, who's standing next to me, just blew his biggest cooldown, his, auto reload. He just used that because it's... You need to use that cooldown. And any giant skeleton will destroy you when it's that tough. Gets crystal shattered. Quickly head up top on the perch. Goodbye. Kill that guy in 2 shots. And then you stand on the perch and you just shoot everybody. Oh, looking straight up. Always make sure you're penning with your shots. I know there's a way you can use the giant skeletons to block up the entrance, but murdering people is way more fun. It helps your monster manual. So you always gotta help your monster manual. First. Oh, wait, does he have evasion? It just saved and it didn't die. Damn. That sucks. I mean, it makes sense that it has evasion, but it makes me sad. I don't see any more. Hey, there's a Minotaur. The nice thing about also the sniper shot is it makes them turn around because they're bluffed, so they'll stand still so you can just shoot them. There's stuff going down there. I don't really care though. Just gonna keep jumping and shooting. Oh man! Ogre Magi. One thing you definitely do notice is that if you're not critting, it doesn't feel like you do a lot of damage, even though you still are doing a consistently high amount of damage when you're hitting multiple targets. Now, for those of you that have tuned in, if you happen to like my show, you know, and you're having a good time with yourself, and you're enjoying it, and you want to see more, if you could go ahead and just tap on that follow button, so you'll know every time I'm doing the live stream, that'd be great. I should probably have like my own stream linked somewhere in here, but I'm too lazy to do that. Oh man. Yeah, if anyone is wondering, if you're like watching and you're like, man, what character build is this? How is this guy doing so much damage? He doesn't even have his hands on the keyboard. They're waving in front of the camera, and these guys are all dying. In fact, it's so easy, I'm going to go back to playing with one hand again, because that's pretty much the hallmark of this build, is that it's so easy you can play it with one hand. So I have an arm just waving around, and yet I'm still able to do pretty much full damage with just one hand. If you're like, damn, I want to play this character. Oh, I fell off something. There is a build guide on the DDO forums, the official DDO forums that I wrote, or I can link it in chat here if anybody would like. $400 base Sonic? Bruh, hold up a sec. I'm pretty sure if you look here, I've got 337 acid spell power, and I'm level 24. So if you're hitting 400 Sonic, that's not high enough. You should be hitting 600. Try for 600, because that's where I'm going, to the top. And the top is 600. Talking about 600. This? Are you talking about that? Is that the thread? That's right. Just now, only for you, at a special price of $19.99, you can get yourself a brand new, super incredible, high-powered, high-gear, top-gear, high-end Gear Max? I don't know any other words. Can't think of any buzzwords. Archer class. The best part about this character class is it looks like, oh man, you're watching the stream and you see some jerkhole who's like, oh, this character's so easy because I've done a million lives and this character's really OP, right? No. This character doesn't have a lot of lives. This character, well, it does. I have some paladin lives, but nothing that actually improves the damage. Only things that improve my my incoming healing, which is good. Can't go wrong with incoming healing. Tell you that much. Wrong button. But this character can actually be played at full strength and capacity by a free-to-play player, by somebody who's doing a first life. That's right, you. You could be doing a first life and playing this character. As I say in the guide, the only things that matter is really having dexterity, and almost all the damage comes from the Deepwood Stalker tree. The only item you need for heroic levels is the Silver Longbow, which you get from a free-to-play quest, and then for epic levels, the only item that I would recommend is the Thunderforged Ally Longbow, which with acid spell power on it, and to get that, you just have to buy the Thunderholm quest pack, which is really good because it's a few 100,000 experience on its own anyway, and it has 2 raids, which are really fun. So I think it's cool. If you're not into raids, you may not want to do it, but I think it's pretty good. Top shelf, I like that, and top score. With this build, also gets you top score. I didn't write that in the guide. I should have written that in the guide. Next guide is going to get you top score. I promise. The next build guide I write will give you top score. Oh, he thinks his burst is good. Acid burst. Ooh, all those rangers saved, so they took no damage. Damn. Yeah, sort of. I can link this UI skin. Alright. Alright. I have to tell my team real quick. I'm gonna look up the guide, or the skin link, when I do the upstairs. Ooh, that guy went invisible. Everyone wants to kill me. Every time. Oh, stop shooting me. I just gotta wait for the ogre to come back, take him down, and then I can go up to top and be AFK. Again, this build might be like, ah man, is this build really that good? Yes, yes it is. Look at these damage numbers. 50% of the kills, isn't that what you want to be? It's a remix. That way, I don't have to worry about copyright infringement. But you're correct. I am listening to Super Mario. I didn't talk to the seer. That's really important. Talk. Man, I'm so disoriented. Hey, dance, fool! I command you to do your dance. Let's get this crystal shattered. Thank you. I don't know how Syndril died. The only downside of this build is if you're like me and you didn't even consider Charisma, you have no use magic device. Oh god. Okay, great. Oh, I'm afraid. I'm afraid I won't be able to get all their aggro right away. Okay. I have all the aggro? I have all the aggro? Great. Now I'm gonna Google stuff. Hold the phone. This is the skin that I use. It's called Info Blue. I like it largely because it gives me the details that I need, which is my load. I like having my load capacity right here so I can see the limits, so I can see how close I am. So when you don't have tons of strength, and you need to make sure... Yeah, man, they are the worst. This song's actually really good. When you are playing and you are just leveling up and your strength, you don't have like a +6 strength item, and you actually have to worry about load cap, it becomes an issue. So knowing when you can take the time to go sell or keep playing is kind of nice. So when you're like, oh, I can only have, I'm at 300 and 305 is my next one, you know, it's not very good. So I like having that. Also, it kind of looks sleek. It's got that red look, and it's just very basic. I also have Blackbird. I just don't like Blackbird as much. Also, Blackbird doesn't work that well anymore because it bugs out with one of the frames, and it doesn't have this. So, like, if I switch to Blackbird here, it still looks nice. I really like the background, like that kind of leather-looking thing. So it's like a leather-bound journal. It's got the little details in the indents. I really like that. It's really pretty. And I like the way it outlines here on like the edges of your skill abilities, but it doesn't have the load limit calculator thing, which Info Blue does, which is really what I want. It's just convenient. Plus, it still looks sleek. They all look sleek. Unfortunately, because Turbine has changed the interface and hasn't really updated it, apparently that's what people say. I don't actually know how to do the creating custom skins, but this is what I hear along the grapevine, is that Turbine made changes to the way that some of the information is displayed, and it can't be accessible through the custom skin menu, which is why you'll see stuff like the Epic Destinies works, but then the new enhancement trees, they have no way to be custom skinified yet. So, who knows, maybe that would be in the future. I mean, I'd be down to actually sit down and make one. I would totally take the time to make one. I just don't know how to do it, and I'd want to learn how to do it, but if I can't actually affect everything, I'm not going to do that. Okay. Okay, good. Ow, that lava hurt. What? Oh, I don't have my fire resistance on. There we go. Now I'm not taking any damage from lava. I have Energy Sheath Fire just because there's a lot of fire damage in this game. Oh, Sigil got destroyed again. It just occurred to me that I don't have a lot of mana left, and I have to recast all my spells because I need buffs. Primal Scream, and Tumble. Everything's good. See, they're running away from these skeleton enchanters. Except I can't shoot around the crystal, because obviously you can't shoot around the crystal. You just hit him really hard. What's really nice is just being able to avoid... the reason I'm still using... I actually am using Voice of the Master and Mantle of the World Shaper combo. I just love having True Seeing. Being able to completely ignore, and when I say completely, I mean completely ignore all of the extra little effects, disenchanted bracers? Oh, enchantment resistance. Ignoring all the extra effects of guys with blur and whatever, it's just too good. And it's just too good to pass up. You know, there's really no reason not to. I mean, sure, there's lots of other items you could use. Maybe there's even good combos, good cloaks. A lot of the ones that you get out of... Where do I find this here? A lot of the ones that you get out of... I know the new raid And also, oh, I'm gonna forget that jump is here. I'm gonna put that somewhere else in the bar. This is not organized enough. Okay, I don't need this. I need this. I need this. I need it twice. I'm almost out of buffs as well. Ah, I'll be fine. There are a lot of really good cloaks out there and other item combos. I just genuinely really like having... I just genuinely really like having... oh, hey, look at this. Having True Seeing all the time. Having True Seeing means I can just ignore all those little effects. Every time you miss, it just really sucks. So while you could have like an item that might give you a little bit more damage, so for example, I could get an item that would have a slightly higher deadly effect. So then I have, you know, I do a little bit more damage. I'm dead. He did the combo. I got comboed. I just got destroyed. I saw that ogre, and I was like, oh, he has a crown above him. And then I hit him with the sniper shot, but he did like the quick turn, so he didn't actually turn around the whole way. Yeah. Yeah, I died there. That was not working as intended right there.
The crater's large central lies beyond
I didn't think that was... I like when you know that you're gonna die, right? Like, I just see him and I'm like, oh, he's still at half health. I'm just dead, and I see him start the combo, and then 180, 2, 180, 3, I'm at negative 180. It's fine. It happens. It happens to the best of us. So anyway, I put on all my buffs, I sit here, I turn on auto attack, and I just attack the Warlock. Remember, always place your Mark of the Hunted on the guy so that you can actually crit him really easily. And then watch your damage number just fly up the screen. Look at these damage numbers, everybody. Whoa, the damage! Other people might have been thinking they were doing damage, but not even comparative. Ancient Band. What is this? Is this a ring that gives fortification? Oh, baby! That's what I want. Cool. Feather Falling Cloak? Charisma 11? Oh my god. Oh my god. The cloak. Cool. That's crazy. Charisma 11 of Feather Falling? I'm jealous. See, that's why this new loot system is so cool. You would never find an item like that before. Do you guys see this item? Look at this. Charisma 11 of Feather Falling for level 24. Charisma 11? Charisma 10 would, like, the highest item that would spawn on loot gen was 8, or I think 9 maybe, before. And then you could get, like, some items that were 10 from, like, raids. Charisma 11 on a level 24 item is ridiculous. That is crazy. That is just ridiculous. Holy cow, that cloak. My god. Sorry, I'm spazzing out. That was like the greatest cloak I've ever seen. 11 charisma. Buff myself. I always cast Merfolk's Blessing to throw people around, to confuse people. Oh, and could you get 10? At like a level, that was a level 28? I don't think you get loot gen 2010 though. I don't think you get random loot as an 11. I don't think that was possible. Now, unfortunately, I believe these spiders are immune to acid, so we have to swap to force damage. Fortunately, that's why... Ooh, I'm not supposed to be using my swords for this. Even though we have to switch to force damage, that's fine, because I still have force spell power, just in case. I keep both spell powers just in case. My force spell power, unfortunately, is not as high as my acid spell power, and the base force damage is not as good as the base acid damage, where the force is a d6. Look at this. Oh, it feels so good. Die. No, man. I don't have any AoE that can effectively kill these spiders, because I only have my acid AoE, so... So always focus... Syndrils might be dead? Oh, no. What a legend. What a beast. He just throws down the ice storm and stands in it. Oh. Beast at those guys. That was sick. Okay, smash the door. Ooh! Ooh, that troll has whenever you see the crown above like a troll's head, anything that has a combo, you have to always kill the combo creatures first. Really important. I can't stress that enough. One of the biggest things that will happen to you is you'll be like, oh, there's just a champion monster. It will hit pretty hard. You know, and you think about it, but anything that's got any kind of combo. So, like trolls, if it's ranged, it's fine. It'll shoot you like one arrow every 3 seconds. You can heal in between, you can react. But like that triple combo, you can't. You can't handle that combo. Back in the day, when the game was young, when you were level 10, or not, when the level cap was 10, okay, you would do normal quests, and a regular troll would just do its regular combo. A normal troll or ogre that's level 3 or level 5 would do its regular combo to you. And that would destroy you, because back then, people didn't think con was that important. So if you're playing a caster, you might have had a con of 10. So, you know, at level 5, you might have actually like 40 hit points. So an ogre on normal difficulty comboing you would just kill you instantly. So you had to be really careful. It was madness back then. Now, of course, everybody learned. They figured out, you know, how to avoid getting completely comboed out. No, die. But it's one of those things where like it still carries over. The fear of the combo is something that's like built into my bloodstream, I swear. Every time I see a troll go for the combo or any ogre just do the triple combo, I'm terrified, man. It's oh god. Like this guy. I was gonna save my many shot for something else, but just seeing 2 trolls here, I'm like, nope. No combo. Don't want a combo happening. Fortunately, anytime you have a troll that can cast spells, they'll generally waste all their time doing absolutely nothing. But hey, get out of here, spiders. Spiders don't technically have a combo, but they still are pretty terrifying when it comes to champion monsters because they have that quick jump attack. So even if you like move out of range, they're still gonna hit you, which is kind of mean. Ooh, I love when people get those legendary stuns on guys. Like up here, check that out. See that stun? Damage. Spellcraft doesn't affect Sonic, by the way. Spellcraft only affects... Well, Spellcraft affects fire, acid, light, and electric, and cold. It doesn't affect rust or repair. It doesn't affect positive or negative, and it doesn't affect Sonic. Oh god, I can't stop walking backwards because my keyboard is stuck. If you guys are looking at a new keyboard, I don't remember exactly what keyboard this is, I'll figure it out, but I'd highly recommend against the one that I have in my hands. I'm going to figure this out, just so nobody else makes the same mistake that I do. Yeah. There we go. Okay, I'm going to leave myself auto-attacking this. Oh, hey, they're killing it for me. Damn, that's what I'm talking about. Huh, that's weird. I don't want that open. Huh, that program's freezing. That's weird. The proof that it doesn't affect? Right, yeah, right here. Skills. Just look. It's gonna click me out. Spellcraft. Improves your spellcraft with all spells except for Sonic. It's right there. I don't know what to tell you. Improves your spell damage with all spells except for positive energy, negative energy, Sonic, repair, and rust, which are instead affected by the heal, perform, and repair spells, respectively. So, and now you know. Now, having Spellcraft is really, really good on Warlock anyway. Any Warlock worth their salt, which means every single Warlock in the entire game, 100% of the time, will always take Spellcraft, because out of the Warlock, I believe it's the Tainted Scholar tree, there's the Warlock ability Utterdark Blast, which changes your damage from force to evil. Less creatures are resistant to evil damage than force damage, so it will give you more damage penetration overall, And also, it allows your damage to scale off of Radiance spell power, or Light spell power, as opposed to Force spell power. And the reason that's really convenient and good is because Light spell power also affects the abilities from the, what's the other tree called? Oh, no. No, no, Xenia, no. It doesn't work, huh? But it also benefits your spell power. It's light spell power, which is good. Light spell power benefits the abilities from, what's the word, consumed soul or whatever? I can't remember the third one. The one that has the consume spells, the consume and the stricken spells, because consume and stricken both deal chaos damage, and chaos damage is affected by light spell power. And then finally, out of the enlightened spirit, that also gives you light damage onto your attacks, which is light spell power. So light spell power gives you all of those three things. So you should always be using Underdark Blast and always be using everything scaling off of light spell power, just because it's the best way to scale your damage as a warlock. Now, unfortunately, that is just a demonstrable fact when it comes to that one. There might be some ways you can argue about different damage types, like different ways to actually level up your warlock, whether you want to go with the melee, the blasts, using the damage over time effects, or the cleave effects from Enlightened Spirit. There are definitely different conversations to have there, but 100% there's no way to scale your damage any better mathematically than using the light spell damage. Oh god. And not only is it better, which is just fantastic, things being better is great, but it's also easier because you only have to get one item. Later, enemy food. Thanks for watching, and have yourself a great evening. Also, really important. Oh god, there's a guy right behind me! This is like a pro tip when you're playing any kind of ranger. So with this character, so I have sniper shot. Sniper shot. When I hit a target, it does a bluff check. Bluff check, really important because it makes the guy turn in their tracks. So when I see a Minotaur, like the one that's about to spawn right here, when he starts to do his charge, you hit him with the turnaround mid-charge, and he stops and turns around. So you can actually block the charge and waste a lot of their time. So if you're fighting a champion Minotaur, okay, come out of there. Don't pull any more levers, just come out. Oh, pull the lever again. Nope, just pull that one you just pulled. Perfect, it's open. Yeah, so, what was I saying? Something about, oh yeah, making guys turn around. There's a lot of tricks you can use to make your character a lot more survivable. The problem is, especially using Sniper Shot very efficiently to make sure enemies turn around. So like, when a cat's about to lunge on you like that, by hitting him mid-animation, his attack doesn't actually connect because he's the bluff check. So, like for example, if you're wondering for a... if you're looking for the breakdown of my acid spell power, which is currently at 336, breakdown's pretty easy. Oh hey, look at that. Monsters to kill. Ooh. I know you guys are talking about warlocks, but it's good to still get an idea of like the numbers, especially that I'm going behind my character so I can feel confident about it. I do have a decent breakdown of where all your sources are in the guide. However, just for those that are watching right now, don't want to read a bunch of crap. Oh god. Actually, I'm going to fight instead of talking about my build. So give me a second. Acid damage. Burn! Anyway. Yeah. So where does the damage come from in the acid? How am I hitting 200 damage on here? What is this? Actually, it's mostly 100, but this 165 is pretty often too. Where is that coming from? How is that possible? Well, you know, interesting question. It comes from a couple sources. The largest one is my weapon. My weapon's currently giving me 180. So it's 100 Dwarven Corrosion, 150 Equipment bonus to Spellcraft, pretty good, and then 30 Implement. That's 180. Yeah, that's a lot. Additionally, my spellcraft is maxed, so I have it 24.5. That's as high as I can get it right now. If I had a spellcraft item, that'd be better. If I had any intelligence at all, it'd be better. But I don't have either of those things, so we're not going to talk about that. So I can't do that. Then spell power comes from the Arcane Archer tree. You get some spell power from Soul Magic. It gives you 10. Where'd these guys go? Oh, they got all the traps. Good. Perfect. You get spell power from Soul Magic, which gives you 10. You get spell power from all the elemental damage die, and I believe... Is that it? I thought you get spell power from something else. Nope, that's it. So from just those ones. You don't get any spell power to the tree, which is kind of weird. And I have Insightful spell power from my chest piece, because why not? Spell power that gives... or chest piece that gives spell power. The fact that the new items can spawn Insightful whatever is really useful, because it can pretty much show up on whatever you need it to. Hey, look at this. Cool. So the Insightful damage is just really, really, really good. Anything like that. And that brings me to about... I'm trying to total it. It's like probably like 280 or something. And then for every epic level you get 6. So because I have 4 epic levels, that gives me an extra 24. And then from my... from my Draconic Incarnation, it gives me an extra 30. Which is pretty decent. Ah! That was almost terrifying. So I wasn't sure where this song came from that I'm listening to. Apparently this is from Mario Paint. I don't know what to think about that. This is like some like intense music, but apparently it's from Mario Paint. I don't remember this from Mario Paint. Maybe I just didn't play enough Mario Paint when I was growing up. I don't know. Now because you're ranged, you can just sit on top of this guy and kill him slowly. He has 10,000 life, so I'm just going to sit here and wait. I'm not jumping down. I have a final boss to go kill. Cool. Idolong Dark Mist is dead. I want to make sure I have all my cooldowns so I can just burst it into the boss. So I'm just going to kill these 4 Sworn Liege Lords while I wait. And just kind of range these guys from out here. Pop on my energy sheath. Woo. Dodging those lightning bolts. And by dodge I mean I made my saves, but, you know, similar concept. Okay, so now I target Malkian the Mad, put on all my buffs, and go to town. Everything that's in between me and Malkian is going to die pretty much instantaneously. Gotta make sure you stay in the room, though, because he will reset if you leave the room. Although he won't let me in. Let me in! Oh, okay, apparently I can't fuel mine, or I can't cast... Ah! My keyboard keeps getting stuck, and I can't go through the door because there's always something in the door blocking me. No. It's okay, so I just lost most of my mini shot. So that was unfortunate, the way that just turned out. And apparently I got feeble-minded by Malkian at the exact time I was trying to cast Energy Burst, so I started casting it, and then I got feeble-minded, so I didn't finish the cast. Which is just not nice. He's a jerk. I don't appreciate that. Whoa, what is this? Crushing Wave? Water effects? Whoa. Goodbye, Malkin. And I leveled up. Cool, cool. I'm gonna quickly grab level and ship buffs, and then head out to Prison of the Plains. Jeweled Cloak. What is this? Diamond of Wisdom 7 and Competence, Insight bonus to Elemental Resistance. Wow, that's a really good one. And 20% or 20 spell absorptions. If I had a way to get True Seeing from some other source, man, that would be good. The important thing about that Jeweled Cloak is the fact that it absorbs 20 spells. 20 spells might not seem like a lot, but it recharges 10 every time you do a quest. So every time you rest, you get 10 extra back. And 10 spells is essentially you can fight like 3 or 4 beholders without having to get worried about any single effect. Additionally, the spell effects that it blocks are sometimes very strange. It can also block things you wouldn't normally think of as spell effects. So not only will it block things like what am I talking about? Not only will it block things like a spell, so, you know, a ray spell, it'll like hit you and nothing will happen, or something. Oh, I can't see what it does because it's not available for examination. Damn. Not only will it block effects like that, but also add-on weapon effects, which is really weird. For example, if you get hit by a... Ooh, lag. Oh, lag. Oh, God, I'm not there. Never mind. If you get hit by, for example, a bow shot that has an added effect on it, so like a sonic damage bow shot, that kind of thing, um, instead of doing the extra sonic damage, it'll actually block it if it has an effect on it, like a stun, which is kind of weird. It's cool that it works that way. I don't know if it's intended to work that way. Alright, so cargo hold. I'm going to quickly re-get my buffs, go talk to the woman, get my level up, and then we'll be good to go. I just like having ship buffs. If you are not part of a guild, or you're part of a very small guild, and you're having a lot of trouble playing the game, I highly recommend you find yourself a larger guild and get some of these ship buffs. Now, certainly, if the guild that you're in is with mostly your friends, don't do that. Play with your friends and have more fun. This game is way more fun when you're playing with other people, and playing with other people should take precedence over top of having the highest stats. I can't stress that enough. However, if you're finding a lot of trouble in the game and you don't happen to know a lot of people and you're not in a big guild, see if you can find one of these bigger guilds to join. There are a lot of great guilds, especially on Galanda. My guild, Pariahs, were very welcoming. We'll always let people in, or because Pariahs obviously will let people in. But not only that, there's also other guilds, the Legendary Warriors of Galanda. They're great people. There are a lot of great guilds on the server that also happen to have all of the ship buffs. And the ship buffs are fantastic, so... Fiona's gone, so now I gotta update this again. So that's 3 down. So now we're doing Prison of the Plains. Ooh, Prison of the Plains. I'm gonna quickly take level 25. I don't think there's anything important about taking 25. Yeah, I just get feats or whatever. Bam! Game lag. Apparently I'm also level 4 Draconic Incarnation. Whoa. So I get to put 1 point plus 1 of the catch level of acid spells. That's what I'm talking about. I don't think that affects anything, but... And then we go back. So yeah, that's it's a really good way to do it. The most important thing, heading to pop. The most important thing about being in a guild that you will notice is that you might see other people running around lightning fast, like me. I don't have a speed item on this character. However, even though I don't have a speed item, just having the ship buffs makes me run around crazy fast, so I don't need to worry about that. Welcome, welcome. We're just heading to Prison of the Plains now. Goodbye. So I highly recommend that, if possible, getting a ship, because like I said, I have no speed item, but I run around lightning fast, like I'm some kind of Flash-like character. Oh, someone killed a dragon? Ooh, giant, check it out. I already wasted all my damage buffs, but whatever. I'm gonna run down here so they don't have to like run around to get to me. Take that, Cyclone. Oh, he walked away from my burst. No, that was gonna be cool. Whatever. He's dying. Defeat Cyclone the Unvanquished. Goodbye, Cyclone. You jerk. I like these little areas just because, look, 12,000 XP while I'm walking to the quest. It just feels good, you know? It just feels good to get that little bit of XP. Feels good to murder people. One of the most important things also about this game, having fun with your friends, but also being cool with just totally murdering tons of dudes. And I mean tons of dudes. Like, there's a lot of dudes in this game. To give you an example of how many dudes you might murder in this game, if I go to the monster manual, let's just pick a humanoid, or a human. Let's just see, player race. Let's say humans, okay? How many humans have I murdered? Well, in my party, we've slain 22,732. Yeah. So, since I've been playing this game on just this character, that's 22,732. That's a lot of dudes. That's like a lot of dudes! That's so many dudes that just got totally murdered! And that's what I'm gonna do again. I'm gonna go on this quest. We're gonna murder some dudes. So, cast all my buffs, and hey look! What's that? Is that a dude over there? Look at that dude just standing there. Ooh, I'm so sorry, dude. Time to get murdered. I know you're just like a quest NPC, but it's over. Ooh. Oh man, I love that damage. Casting many shot, you feel like a god. It's like, oh, did you want to not die, enemies? Too bad, it's murdering dudes o'clock. Ha ha ha! Some people call me a ranger. I call myself the range. Well, I'm still a ranger. I'm like the doo-doo. Pro tip: whenever you're doing Prison of the Plains, if you don't have to remember like what the scroll says, you just type it in chat. So it said on the scroll down, up, which is what you have to turn the levers at the top. I don't want to have to remember that. Down, up, I can't remember that. It's too hard. So instead, I just type in chat du, which looks like doo-doo, which might sound like Darude Sandstorm. It is taken straight from Darude Sandstorm. However, it also just keeps an easy reminder. The chat box is great for remembering stuff that you may not want to remember. So always use it. It's something that I do whenever I play other games like League of Legends, something like that. Try to use the chat box to, great effectiveness, because people aren't always chatting, especially like during the middle of quests or fights. People aren't chatting, and so you can use it to just store information that you might need for a later portion of a quest, such as like a code or something like that. Why is my health so low? Explosion! Except the archers make the save. I totally forgot about that. Ooh. Game is like lagging out. Now, Rakshasas, you have to have good damage. I actually don't have good damage anymore. I kind of want to put a gem of good in my bow, so that way I can actually deal good damage. Get it? Good damage? I mean, good aligned. Because Rakshasa's damage reduction is good and piercing, so you need good damage and you need piercing. Piercing's easy. I use a bow. But good damage, gotta have a good weapon. Really easy with a silver longbow, which is why I recommend the silver longbow. Pretty much solves all your problems. This guy's not gonna be able to knock it, but Xenia can pick it. Oh, he knocked it. Never mind.
The great door opens to reveal some kind of control.
Coming in?
The door
Oh, he got locked out. I did that intentionally, but I'm a jerk. Ha! Bam! 1,000 damage! What is this damage? Cool. So down, up, and then you right-click this, and it activates it. Then you very quickly throw yourself over this edge. Other people use Featherfall. I don't, because Featherfall is for people that like succeeding at this video game. I liked having more trouble. I like to fall down as hard as I can. Another important thing, I almost always pick lawful good when I play characters. Now I know that lawful isn't the best way to do it, but I generally pick lawful good because leave if you aren't. I always pick lawful just so you can do this. So I follow the order and do my duty. You just pick the one that's the most lawful always. So the woman, something, I refuse the woman. If you walk down the street and see a man getting robbed, what do? I step in and stop the robbery, and I will protect it with honor. Basically, you just pretend you're a cop. You just pretend you're a cop, and you just answer all the questions. Because you think to yourself, man, if I was a police officer, what would I do? This skin, do you mean this skin for the UI? If you mean the skin for the UI, I happen to have already linked it. I'm not waiting outside because I do the most damage. However, which one is this? Is this a Marut? Oh, this is Marut, so I should actually have my acid damage on. Whoopsie. So I'm going to lose some damage here because I'm bad. I'm a bad player. Thank you for linking that for me. I appreciate that. I would do it right now, but I'm like fighting a Marut. Ow, it hurts. Oh, God. Okay, good. He's dead. And I killed the spirit. Cool. Oh, I know. I've got aligned arrows on because I don't deal chaos damage. That's the best part also about playing Arcane Archer. You never have to care about DR. You can always bypass it. Always. Always. I don't know what this wiping motion is, but this one you can't bypass this DR because they don't. The Jin or whatever doesn't have like a DR that you can bypass. Unfortunately, you just do full damage all the time. It's a shame, really. Whee! Explosion! That acid damage is so convenient, actually, that acid burst, even though they save almost all the time because I have no intelligence or charisma, it's just convenient because it means I can just AoE stuff. If guys don't line up for you, it's kind of difficult to actually get very, very high damage. Get rid of no refills because he hasn't been around in 3 quests. Update. Are you guys still talking about the spell power, the sonic spell power? I hope you guys can figure it out. This character, I know if I go full spell power build, and I mean full spell power, I'm assuming I can get probably closer to 500, maybe even 600, but that's what I'm going to try to go for. Welcome, welcome. Wait, did I get dispelled by something? Oh, air elementals, no! Yeah, somebody posted on my my build guide, and they were like, why don't you take electrical damage? And there actually is a reason why I don't take electrical damage on this character, and I take acid damage instead, and the sole purpose is because air elementals are immune to electrical damage, and air elementals are the most annoying enemy in the entire game. So for that one purpose, so it's easier to kill air elementals, I do not take electrical damage. Goodbye, chump. This character's pretty good if it just plays itself, but if you can get better at it by just swapping between different arrow damage types, whether it's the elemental damage type, your actual damage type that you're applying with your physical damage. Yeah. Cool. So this is a vampire, so I want to go metal line, so I have silver. And then I activate all my buffs, and I start wailing on him. He gets under 50, so then you hit him with your extra damage ability. The wolves appear, so you go burst, and they explode, and look at that damage. 1600 damage, but he made his save. That's what I'm talking about. And then eventually the vampire respawns. There he is. Makes a goofy laughing sound. Tee hee hee, I am evil, ha! He's dead. Gotta love enemies that do that. Okay, my keyboard keeps getting stuck, so I'm gonna highly recommend against this. And I will say preface this by saying the products that I use, I have both a Razer keyboard and a mouse. I heavily enjoy Razer. I'm gonna sit out. Fine. I heavily enjoy Razer products. I really like Razer products. They're great. However, the keyboard that I have is the Razer Deathstalker, which is this chiclet keyboard here, and it is awful. Don't buy it. Buy the other ones. Buy the mechanical ones that make the key clicks and stuff, because this keyboard, the big issue is I have to clean it all the time because the keys get stuck. They just get stuck in the keyboard because they go under and they go too far and then they get stuck because it's a chiclet keyboard. So I like the products that are made by the company, and I recommend their other keyboards, but stay away from the Razer Deathstalker. The chiclet keyboard in general, it's not very good. I am a critic. I want to pass on my knowledge. You understand? Playing this game and then all of a sudden I get stuck walking backwards because my keys get stuck is not something I want other people to experience. It's not like a positive thing. It's not like, man, I really love this keyboard because I got stuck walking backwards when I used it. Because the keys get stuck all the time. Maybe I just have like a bad version of it, you know, and I'm the unlucky one. But maybe I'm not. Maybe it happens to all of them. You know, man? I mean, if you have this keyboard and you really like it, do it. But if you're looking for a new keyboard, I highly recommend you get any of the other many wonderful Razer keyboards. The non-chiclet keyboards. Maybe you should buy a keyboard from Initech. Great company. Annoying management, though. In hindsight, I really should have saved my many shot for the Beholder.
As the portal opens, the teeth of Sauron
Goodbye, Cardin. Syndril died already? Syndril got like stomped on by the Beholder. I do like that both of the Artificers use both their cooldowns. So they both use the like the auto fire cooldown, whatever I can't remember what it's called, like endless fusillade or something. I think that's cool. All right, now I think all my buffs got dispelled by the Beholder. Splat. So I'm gonna have to rebuff. There's a lot of good keyboards out there, a lot of good tech. I just strongly recommend against that one piece. Besides, my job is not to overthink things, but that's what I do anyway, because that's my job. And while I'm here, might as well summon a Razor Cat. Yeah, summon the Razor Cat. Look at that. Oh, hey! IFUCK is here. IFUCK? Oh, it has incorporeal? Okay, I have to swap to acid damage. There we go. Or that force damage, so I don't have to deal with incorporeal. That's one thing I can't deal with very efficiently is incorporeal damage or incorporeal creatures. I have to swap to force damage, which reduces my damage total. I'd still rather reduce my damage total by a small bit, so I always hit. All right. So then you right-click on the docent one time, and then it causes everything to spawn, or the bridge to spawn. If you've ever been in this quest and it doesn't finish, it's because no one clicked the docent. But only click it once, because if you click it again after somebody's clicked it, you die. You get overwhelmed by the psychic energy within the docent, and then you die. And dying is bad, so you don't want that. Do this. People get their voice the master. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Cool. And now we head out to Foundation of Discord. 3 more quests, and then we're done all of Giant Hold. So, is the game lagging out? Yeah, the game's lagging out. Back to go? There we go. Yeah. So as for how does this character fare when it comes to epics, pretty good. Definitely not as dominant as it is in heroics. However, you're still going to be doing a lot more damage than most of the people that you play with, especially if you're playing with like, you know, new characters, people that are first lives, that kind of thing. This first life will do a bit more damage. Oh, take the docent? You got played. That just reminds me of there's a lever in Tempest Spine, and the lever doesn't do anything when you pull it. Doesn't open a door, doesn't do anything. But what the lever does do is it makes a flame jet shoot out at the lever when you pull it. And so if anybody was new, you would always, you'd be like, oh, whoever's new has to pull the lever. So whoever's new would then go and pull a lever and then just get roasted by this trap. It was really funny. I mean, sure, it was a dirty, mean trick, but I really liked it. No, not enough enemies. Hey, he's behind me. Goodbye, wizard. I don't like wizards. Oh, I can't see anything because there's a tapestry in my way. Now, fortunately, even if you get a new player to pull it, on Elite, at level 10, it does still get some kills. I haven't tried Tempest Spine Legendary yet, though. So level 30 Tempest Spine, I haven't tried it. Although I've heard it's fun. So, I mean, it's Tempest Spine. Tempest Spine's an awesome raid. So I can't imagine level 30 Tempest Spine wouldn't be fun. Goodbye, clerics. I love 2,500 damage, but they made their save. Man, I love this character. Oh, that's funny. Oh, jeez, there's the trap, the mine. I always step on that mine. What was that sound? I heard this really weird noise. It was like some kind of growl. Gotta get that double lineup, yo. Oh, this paladin is in Draconic Incarnation. You see that frost breath? That was sick! Now the one thing you can't do with this character build is like get that run and gun feeling, because it's not like you have the crossbow, you're like running down the hallway like some kind of legendary hero. Additionally, because most of the game does auto attacks, you kind of let it control itself as opposed to actually getting the feeling of pulling that trigger, which is always nice. Where's Duncan the Wayfarer? This guy. Goodbye, Duncan. Oh no, I missed one of my attacks. That's disappointing. I don't like missing stuff. Oh, jeez. Where did these bramble patch come from? Ooh. Oh, there's monsters here. This is one of those ones that I always forget these crossroads. I always forget which one has the secret door and which you need a rogue to get through. I say you need a rogue because True Seeing, the DC is higher than 30, so True Seeing will automatically detect the secret door. So you need to have some kind of like rogue, and you have to be able to pick the door. Oh, whoa, who cast Regenerate on me? We don't have a druid. Oh, we have a dryad! And the dryad casts Regenerate. That's cool. I don't know who has dryad that is. That's cool. I like that. It's like a healer. Because it healed me. It didn't heal whoever it belongs to. I mean, it might also be healing whoever it belongs to, but that's pretty cool. Where does dryad come out of? Fury of the Wild, or not Fury of the Wild, that comes out of Primal Avatar, doesn't it? Yeah, summon Elder Dryad. That's kind of nifty. I might consider that as like maybe like a barbarian or something. Just if you're soloing, you can have like a personal healer. If you're already in like an epic elite group, that's full. If you're already in full group. Now, if you're like me, always focus on the big main target because it makes you feel good. Oh no! Until you get knocked down by a command spell, and you have no will save, so you don't get up that good. Ooh, I got healed by the Dryad. I love that. I love this Dryad. This Dryad's awesome. Wrong button. Ooh. I also really like these shields. I love this. A shield that gives me reconstruction. The best part about changing the loot is that almost always, if you were playing a cleric, like when I played clerics in pen and paper, you have like a sword or a heavy mace or, you know, something in your left hand, or sorry, right hand, because most players are right-handed, but I'm left-handed, so it would be in my left hand. And then in your other hand, you'd have a shield. So that way you can be a little bit of tanky. You try to get some armor, whatever best you can have, but depending on who your dungeon master was, you didn't always get the heavy armor, you know? Sometimes you just kind of sit the fact that you had scale mail, or leather, or whatever you could actually just get your hands on. Because depending on your DM, you may not get the best armor. But you generally could find a shield. Even like a plank of wood is like some kind of wooden shield. Shields are very cleric-like. And in this game, you really want to pick up and put on a shield. Because, one, it just feels cool, because wearing a shield is cool. But also, shields make you more tanky. So it's just one of those things you want to have on a healing defensive type character. However, unfortunately, most shields don't give healing spell power in this game. There are a couple exceptions, some like especially unique shields that give a decent amount of healing spell power. And when I say unique shields, I mean like named items. But almost all loot gen items are pretty much useless when it comes to shields. It's very difficult to get a shield that has any kind of spell power on it, unless you crafted it yourself. But now with the random loot gen and the way it works, you can actually get some really good shields that happen to have, you know, all sorts of different effects on them. So like Radiance Lore on this weapon and other stuff. So it's great, because now you can have a shield that maybe gives you spell power, like damage spell power if you want to be like a damage cleric, or even just standard devotion spell power. It's just a great effect, and I'm really glad they decided to put that in. Makes me really happy, so I like that. Because it's cool. It's to be able to like have a shield and still be able to heal people. And as I said, I know that there are shields in the game, but like I don't know. When you're leveling up and playing your character, it feels good that you don't have to wait till like level 30 to get the item that makes your build feel good. Like for example, there's a shield you can get. At what level is it? I believe it's 25 that gives you healing spell power on the shield, but it really sucks to wait till level 25 to get an item like that when you'd want to have it the whole time. Instead, you just run around with 2 scepters. One scepter that gives you damage and one scepter that gives you healing. Or like a scepter in your offhand and like a sword in your main hand or something. And it doesn't feel as good as having that shield, that stalwart shield. So, I don't know. Maybe that's just my opinion, but I think it's cool and it's good. I love the updated loot system. If you haven't played Dungeons & Dragons Online in quite a while and you're trying to get back into it and you're watching the stream like, I wonder if I should, I highly recommend you take it as an opportunity. The new loot system's cool because it allows almost anything to spawn on any ability to spawn on any item. So like this Docent gives 42 cold resist and 32% cold absorption. So what that means is that when I get hit by a cold spell, if it does 200 damage, it takes 42 off. So now it's only doing 158, and then that number's reduced by another 32%. So that's a huge reduction in the amount of cold damage I'm taking, especially if I already, maybe it's like something I made a save on. So that's awesome. Hey, thanks for watching, Nasharon. Hope you have a wonderful evening. It's just one of those things, It's really cool. All the items are new. The game feels so fresh, it's unbelievable. Acid explosion. I love that everyone makes their save, but it still does like 1200 damage. That warms my heart as it melts theirs. And we got the ransack bonus for breaking stuff. Time to do the final room. Now this is really nice as a wizard, or as an archer as well, because I can just stand here and shoot everybody. Normally you kind of just have to deal with the fact that people are shooting you in the face in this quest, because you're like, I'm a melee, what am I going to do? But nope, not me. I could just shoot people all day. Haha. Now I didn't realize, oh man, there's a bard right there. Oh jeez. That hurt. I'm not healing that much. I'm gonna shoot this wizard. Take that, wizard. Ha ha ha. I'm still at the top of the list. So Syndrill's doing pretty good now. 35 kills. Alright. So now we have to fight the boss, who's going to immediately cast Stone Skin on himself, which is why we disable his Stone Skin. Man, look at those damage numbers fly. Oh, baby! Yeah. Damage numbers. Damage is just one of those feel-good things. I love damage. Ooh, elemental. Goodbye. And the best part is there's no acid elemental, so acid damage is even better. If you use fire damage on a fire elemental, it doesn't do anything. If you use acid damage on an earth elemental, it still does full damage, because you're melting the rock. Taking them in their racks, and you're just melting them up. Oh, there's an elemental in here? 1200 damage. Oh, that's what's making that grunting sound. It's the dryad. Also, I apologize if, like, sometimes I'm not enunciating properly. Today, I bit my tongue really, really hard. Like, I bit my tongue really hard, and it really hurts. I don't have, like, a good reason. It's not like, oh, I was saving some kids from a burning building, and, a claw or a piece of lumber fell on me and hit my jaw, and then I clamped on my tongue. No, I think I was just eating lunch, and I just bit my tongue. But I bit it really hard, so it like hurts a lot. And I'm a moron. That's basically what happened. So if I'm like sometimes going around words, or it just sounds like I've got some kind of thing going on, that would be why. I just bit my tongue really hard. And I apologize if I'm not enunciating properly. But it's okay. I'll heal. You know, I don't have any healing spells. Like I can't just cure Sirius on myself. That'd be pretty cool. If I could just be like, what? I bit my tongue. Cure spell, no problem. Cool. No, die. I didn't get the kill before I go in. Cry for help. So we're getting close to the end of the Giant Hold quests. We only have this one and one more Giant Hold tour left. But so far from playing through them, again, not in an optimal build, although I do really like being able to just boom, get that burst damage in there. It does feel very good. I might have to just twist that in. Although I also really like having the action boost haste. It's really hard. Your clear speed goes up when you have this burst because it allows you to energy burst a room. Whereas your single target damage goes up by a ridiculous amount with haste boost. So it's hard to choose one or the other. Although I can definitely say if I actually had full spell power and a high DC on that, yeah, Draconic Incarnation would be kinda OP. 'Cause that just feels fantastic. There's really high bursts. Like, I'm talking, ideally, I'd be doing closer to, like, 7k with that burst, 8k. See, when everyone's lining up for me, it's really easy. But when they're not lining up, or in between lining up, I can still get that burst of, like, 7,000 damage. Kinda nice, which not all characters can do. Ooh, turn around, everybody! Now, I'm not entirely sure why Sniper Shot is an automatic bluff check. I feel like it should make a bluff check. Like, it shouldn't automatically succeed and render a target vulnerable. In all honesty, to make it a little bit more balanced, it should still require you to make a bluff check. Which, 9 times out of 10, if you're going this build, you'd put points into bluff anyway, if that was the case. But because it's not, I don't have to spend any points on bluff, and it always works. Whereas, if you're playing a rogue and you decide to use feint to get that extra sneak attack damage, or if you're playing a wolf druid and you use, not takedown, but the other one, I think it's like flanking attack or something? Whatever it's called. That requires you to make a check. So I don't know why it wouldn't be... You'd want to be consistent. I'm a big fan of consistency. I don't want everything to be the same, but I want it to all work kind of the same. Because when it doesn't work the same, you just get one thing that's just flat out better than another. And then you get confused as to why you're even doing it. Like, why would I play a dual-wield ranger so why would I play like a druid when I can just play ranger and get more damage? And that's actually not true. Ranger does way more damage or druid does way more damage than ranger. Some of the best single target damage people are druids, true fact. Man, like sometimes these wolf druids, they just rip enemies to pieces. They do crazy single target damage, especially the ones that are really, really absurdly, disgustingly well geared. And they're there, you've seen them. If you played through epics, every server, you've seen these druids that are like they're capped, they're legendary dreadnought, and you just see their wolf head go crazy because they're attacking like 6 times a second. These wolf druids are crazy. And I love playing with those kinds of wolf druids, because they make every quest really, really easy. I'm missing, because I'm bad. Take that. Die, Jarlith. Is it Jarlith or Yarlith? I always say Jarlith. Like I pronounce it like a hard J. I don't actually know. Whee! Now, another benefit of being Draconic Incarnation that is like kind of like a side benefit, because it's like hidden, you don't see it right away, is the fact that you get the Draconic Leap, like the flyby attack, which is a jump forward. It's like an abundant step kind of ability, which is just really nice for getting around areas and quests. Ah, something is happening. My game is like freezing a lot, which is kind of weird. Not sure why that's happening. I have to do some cleaning out on my hard drive. That might be part of the issue. Explosion! Oh, snap! I got tripped mid-explosion attack. Oh, it hurts. Everybody hurts. Oh god, the pain. Paylor, help me. Too bad there's no Paylor in there. Ow! Spikes. Man. You think I'm playing a ranger. You know, I got a dexterity of 47. You'd think I could make a reflex save, but nah. Now, there are a couple items I'm actually missing on this character. And I don't mean like items like, oh, I gotta get these specific items, but there are some stats I really should have. An item you should always try to invest in is something that gives you resistance. It's pretty easy to get an item that gives you like plus 6 or 7 to all your saves as a resistance bonus. And then once you grab one of those, grab yourself an item that also gives you parrying. Parrying is an awesome buff because it gives you an insight bonus to all your saves. So with parrying and resistance combined, you're looking at like plus 16 to all saves from like 2 stats on 2 items. If you can fit that in somewhere, I highly recommend it. This character has no bonuses to any of its saves. And if somebody casts like hold person on me, I just stop moving. I hit the water. So I highly recommend you do that. Alrighty. Now, I do have some ideas. The end of the stream, the last few times at the end of my stream, because we're nearing the end. I might do a couple more quests, but we're getting close to the end. And at the end of every stream, I like to do kind of like an introspective into the way that Turbines has been running their game, and talk about the good and the bad decisions that I think they've made. Because don't get me wrong, Turbine has made some awesome decisions. And I don't just use it as a section to be like, I'm gonna smash this company into the ground. They've made some awesome decisions. This loot change is one of the coolest things they could have done with the game, and this, if anything could make the game more popular, I think this is it. It makes it easier to get into because the lower end of items is higher. So now, instead of like finding almost all garbage items that you sell, you can pretty much always find an item that will improve your character. Hurry up, let's do it. Always kill the ads first, because then you get the extra bonus. Targeting lag. Where'd the boss go? Lothar. Goodbye, Lothar. And I do, take some, point out my criticism of things that I feel are important. Hey, 32 force spell power. Things that I think are important and should be looked at and thought about by the larger community. Like, we can come together to come up with solutions to these problems, or like these things in the game. And that's good. However, today we're not going to be doing quite that. At the end of the stream, it's going to be like a discussion segment, so it's going to be a very chat interactive. So if you like typing with your keyboard into a message box and then having somebody read what you say and probably ignoring it, this is the perfect time for you. And we'll get to it when we get to the end of the stream. But I do have a very evocative topic I'd like to discuss with all of you, and I'm sure you'd appreciate it. Now let me see here. Feather falling boots of move silently, devoted of intimidate. Stalwart of fortification, I have strength. Ooh, 0 concentration. I really don't like the concentration items giving 0. I hope they can patch that, because one of the builds I want to do actually requires concentration. So it's a very concentration heavy build. Giant hold Tor, giant hold Tor. I want giant hold Tor. Giant hold Tor. There we go. It's the last one. So I talked to all 3 of these. Hand them all in. Alluring of natural armor. 10 charisma, 10 natural armor! I don't know if that's good or not. I don't need charisma though, so I'm going to bypass it. Maybe I could sell it in the auction house. Maybe I could give it to somebody, but cool. Give me the quest. Talk to me. Dragons are attacking. Okay, good. Now I can get Giant Hold Tor. Yeah, so let's cross it when we get there. But I do have an interesting discussion, and I think you guys will like it. Man, I have all these items I don't know what to do with. If, by the way, if you see me pick up something and you're like, man, I'm on Galanda, and I could really use that item that I see that somehow flash by in a second because you can read items very quickly, let me know, and I'll probably give it to you. I don't use most of the items that I pick up. I think they're cool, but usually I'm like, oh man, this is so cool, and I like hold on to it, and then I'm like, this is okay, and then I get rid of it. Inside on hard. Although admittedly, drinking 2 cups of coffee and like a big cup of water, I am like really itching for a bathroom break at this point. That's 3 hours is like a long time, man. Unworthy. So now you turn on, this is when you turn on many shot and all your other buffs, and then you just start tearing people apart like it's nothing. Like, hee hee, look at this guy, he's dead. Look at this giant, he's dead. Lol. And any more respawns? Please, respawns, please. I need respawns. My buff is running out! No! Oh, 0. And no, still no respawns. Oh, damn. S-key keeps getting stuck. And the best part is every monster seems to be ignoring me, so I can just sit here on the edge of the room and just pew pew away at monsters. Man, this feels good. I'm not even doing anything. The game's on autopilot. I just turn. Now, this portion, especially because it's epic, it's obviously not free to play. But it is something. Oh, I forgot to mention. I was going to do a giveaway. I should have had that in the stream title. My bad. I'm doing a giveaway to the stream. Whoopsie. Probably should have had that. Hey, Syndril, get up. Get up. I forgot that I was doing a giveaway. I have to update that. Oh my god, I keep hitting so many buttons on my keyboard. There we go. Perfect. That's something I should have had in there from the start. I totally forgot I was doing a giveaway. I didn't forget I was doing it, I just forgot to tell you guys. There is actually a giveaway at 9:30, so that's in 15 minutes, Eastern Daylight Time. So in 15 minutes, I'll be doing a giveaway. To enter in the giveaway, all you have to do is be currently watching the stream. I'm going to enter all your names into like a thing, and then one of you will randomly win the prize. I'll put your name on screen so you know who you are, and I'll send you a message. So you make sure to check your Twitch inbox. The prize for today, or the thing that you could win by randomly just deciding to watch the stream, is going to be a Menace of the Underdark expansion pack. That's right. If you happen to already have the Menace of the Underdark expansion pack, then I apologize. I have nothing to give you other than that. But it's a great expansion. It gives you access to the Epic Destinies, it gives you access to the Druid class, and it allows you to go to Evening Star, which is really cool. Evening Star is a really cool place to do quests and stuff. So I highly recommend if you don't have it and you want to get started in the game. Druid's a really fun and easy class to play, and it's not quite as easy as this, but it's great for new players because you get a pet that helps protect you, and you can heal. You know, it's just an all-around great class. And then getting access to Epic Destinies is, of course, amazing. Bam, acid damage. Welcome, welcome. So, yeah, if that's something that interests you, I'll be doing the giveaway in a bit, in like 15 minutes. Now, there's also, if you happen to already have it, you can still win the prize and then convince one of your friends to come play the game by saying, hey, if you come play, I got a free expansion pack, bro! And then you could give it away. It's like that movie Pay It Forward, except you won't get stabbed at the end. Spoiler alert. Although everybody should have seen that movie. It came out in the 90s. It's a great movie. The ending is just really, really harsh. Like, the ending is like so So heavy. Ah, that movie's great, but man, the ending is just like punches you in the gut, like or stabs you in the chest. Eh? That's a bad, tasteless joke. Anyway. Oh, you haven't done Epic Dragons? I actually like Epic Dragons. I think they're fun. Probably not going to do them today because I'm lazy, but what am I listening to? Oh, this is a good song. No, negative levels! How did that happen? I was looking at the screen for like 1 second and I got negative leveled? Oh. This game sucks. I only have 381 life. Alright, time to yell to get some life. Good. 2-shot this guy. 3-shot this guy? Oh, I missed! Oh, no! I'm missing now because my attack is lower by 2. Oh, no. That sucks. Oh, I have 2 seconds left. Come on, kill this guy. Oh. Okay, good. Just means I have to use my armor lower more frequently. Cool.
As the lever clicks into place, one of the two faces near the far
Ooh, hey, there's a guy behind me. That's what she said. Oh, that's actually a champion. I should not just ignore that like it's nothing. Yeah, whatever. It's dead. What's the save base off of? DC 20 plus half character level plus charisma. Oh, I can't render the creature, so I can't shoot at it. That's hilarious. Oh man.
The portal master stands with maddened eyes, casting an elaborate spell.
There we go. So I make sure I'm shooting both at the same time, and then you just stand here and you just shoot. And you shoot, and you shoot, and you shoot. Turn on morphic arrows, so that way I can hit all the skeletons in between and not really care about, you know, the actual damage type of my abilities. Hey, I got a negative level back. I do like that they added it. Some people might call it easy mode, but the fact that you can regenerate your negative levels and blindness doesn't last forever, man. Those of you that played when the game first came out, you know what I'm talking about when I say blindness lasted forever. Because it literally didn't end. It had no time limit. So if you got blinded, you just couldn't see your screen until somebody cured you of blindness. And back in those days, you'd leave a quest, and it wouldn't cure you of everything. You'd still be blind. You'd have to blindly make your way to the tavern, and then blindly talk to like the person who could cure stuff for money, which wasn't in the game right at the beginning. They had to add that in because too many people would sit in the tavern blind or have to log out and wait for like the blindness to go away over time. They like, sit in the tavern and wait for someone to come cure them. So that was hilarious. Good times. Combo of magnetism. Cool. Thank you, everybody. That's about it for me today. But, yeah. Thanks for coming. Hope you all had fun, and we'll see you around. You always got to give a good, happy, hippy-dippy-dappy happy end to any time you do something like that. Insightful Seeker and 9% dodge bonus. I like that. So that's actually better than what I'm using, so I'm going to take that. Now I can do the raid if I want to. I haven't done the raid, but whatever. Alright. So, let's talk about stuff. What time is it? It's 9:20, so it's not quite time for the giveaway. So what we're going to be doing here is I'm going to be running around and picking up items. It's important. So this guy, because I did every single quest, he's going to be like, yo, pick whatever you want. Oh, you just ran out of heal scrolls? Oh, jeez. Dream Visor, do I want that? Eh, probably not. This armband, I need strength. What else is here? Something I don't care about. Arcat's Cord, which is something I don't care about. And Surefoot Boots, which gives mobility, which I already have. And Striding, which I could use, but whatever. Okay, cool. And then finally, you gotta pick up your Saga reward. So display my reward score. Cool, claim current tier. So I got the hard tier. So I have Swim, Swim Tome, Intimidate Tome, 49k experience, or 7.5k Guild Renown. I could probably take the Guild Renown, probably should because we have the bonus. I want the experience though. Guild Renown. Bam! 11,000 Guild Renown. What a superhero. And then it resets my saga again. So I'll have to do that. I'm going to quickly run through, pick up all the items. Then after I pick up all the items, we're going to do the giveaway, and then we'll have the big discussion topic, which I'm going to bring up here. So the reason I say I'm going to pick up all the items is because actually scanning through all these items and seeing which one is the best is actually kind of fun. I genuinely really enjoy doing this. Now, being like, oh, what is this cool item? What's this double shot? Okay, whatever. And, you know, you're not always going to have good items. You got to find the diamond in the rough. And it makes you feel good, the fact that you're actually scrolling through and looking and choosing, oh, I decided to look at this item, and now I can see that there's this thing I could actually use. Metamorphic Evocation, and Blasting of Combustion, Evocation Focus, and Combustion. That's not bad. If you're some kind of fire sorcerer, that'd be pretty good. Charisma 10, spell saves, insightful spell saves, plus 10 on spell saves, and 10 charisma. I'm going to put that on the auction house. So I'm going to put auction house stuff in my last pack. Generally, when I put stuff on the auction house, I don't actually put it on so I can make money. I put stuff on the auction house so I can give away cool items. Because somebody might use that. They might think that's a good item, they might equip it. So that's generally why I do that. So if you're ever like, oh man, putting stuff on the auction house to make money. No, I have an infinite amount of gold. Everyone does. There's nothing to spend gold on in this game. I have 2 million. What am I going to do with it? But I just want to be able to share cool items that might be good. Because, man, that's what you do. You got to share those cool items that might be good. What do we got? Kopesh Devotion. Blech. Boots of Strength. 10 strength and movement speed. Wow. That's kind of cool. Not good enough, though. Fortification, Insightful Devotion. Well, I don't know how many docent using characters want devotion, so I'm going to skip that one. We're going to take the Accommodations of Valor. Let's see what we got here. Scimitar of Radiance, Warrior's Boots, Combat Mastery. Oh, baby. So many good items here. Sometimes it's hard to decide. Like Con 11, Armor 9. Jeez. And I do want a lot of these items. The issue is I have to make sure I'm wearing light armor. So even though there's a lot of really good light or like cloth armors that you can take, I have to make sure I'm wearing light armor because the Ranger Survivalist only works while wearing light armor. So while wearing light armor, I gain, what is this? 5 plus 4 plus 3 is 12 physical resistance rating and 60 life. And 60 life is like important considering that's 10% of my life. So Reconstruction to Disable, that's Insightful Disable, that's plus 9 that stacks, that's kind of cool. Enchantment Resistance, it's okay. Dodge bonus 11's pretty good. Charm. Reanimating. Meh. And lastly is this one. I don't know if Zach is here. I couldn't tell you. Alright. This last one, then we're going to do the giveaway. So, if you would like, I'm going to type this in now so I can do this. If you would like to opt out of the Menace of the Underdark giveaway, please say so. Please say so now. There we go. If you'd like to opt out, please type in chat and say, you know, I don't want the giveaway. I don't want it. Just type that in chat. I'll take it into consideration, and we'll be good to go from there. Ice guard, damping of blah 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 blah. See, Shield of Devotion. That's what I'm talking about. That's what I'm talking about. Oh, pretty much everyone in here is going to be included in. It's just if you'd like to opt out, let me know. So you're already in. Don't worry. Have expansion. Hey, where's the Storm Reaper? He didn't load in, I guess. I guess I have to reload the area so it'll spawn. I don't know. I'll talk to him in a bit. Opting out hype. There you go. I can always count on you, Big Sugar. Alrighty. Alrighty. It's time to do a giveaway. You guys ready for a giveaway? It's time to do a giveaway. So. Here we go. Pulling up my random number generator. It's important that you get your random number generator. Because I'd like to do... I could just choose who wins, but that's really not very fun. I'd rather use the number generator. So I'm going to load it up. So I got my codes, secret codes. Alright. Menace of the Underdark pack giveaway. You're all included. You have a chance to win, except for you, Big Sugar. I'm going to assume you want to opt out Pytar, the Fearless. So we're going to include you as well. But all of you that are currently watching, and all of you that were watching before, have all been just dumped in for a chance to win this Menace of the Underdark code. So let's see what the number generator comes up with. And all right. Let me get this on screen so I can randomly generate this. Make sure this is nice and big. Opacity 100. Actually, we'll do 70 because that looks nicer. All right. Bam. Congratulations to this person who's watching, a Mr. Boardboat. Congratulations. You won. I'm going to send you a link, and you have to respond if you would like to get the expansion pack. If you don't, I'll roll again. I'll add new people. But congratulations to a Boardboat. You have won, in fact. You want a free Menace of the Underdark expansion pack. So, free... Receive the code. Perfect. So check your inbox. I misspelled that word. If you would like to receive that code, please check your inbox. And yes, congratulations to Boardboat, today's winner. So I'm glad you won. Yeah, and we'll be doing another giveaway next week. I'd love to give out more, but unfortunately I'm on a budget, and there's only so much I can give to all the wonderful people that are watching today. So, this is where it becomes the last half hour of the stream. We're going to use it as a discussion, okay? A discussion platform. And this is important. At the end, like I said, the last couple of weeks, I've tried to make it so that, you know, we talk about the good things and the bad things that Turbine has done. So I talked about, the first time I talked about consistency when looking at the classes like the Eldritch Knight and the Arcane Archer, and comparing the fact that Arcane Archer has all these cool acid scaling things, and the Eldritch Knight doesn't, for no reason. Or just because it's old. Things like that. So trying to talk about discussion pieces, or the fact that barbarians, which is one of my other topics I talked about, barbarians, they heal naturally. So if I pull up a barbarian here, which I'm going to, barbarians heal naturally, and so it doesn't make sense that the healing is positive energy when in theory it would be the mechanics of how the barbarian heals himself. So I'm going to pull up my barbarian here. Now I say this because I'm primarily a Warforged player, which is why this gets on my nerves, but it's something that doesn't make sense in the context of the game. So if I show it off here, ooh, oh, it's gonna load. It's gonna load. Is it? Is it gonna load? Yes. So the barbarians have 3 ways to heal. They can either heal when their metabolism is enhanced, so they heal over time while they're raged. They can use their spirit bond to heal their own body because they form the spirit, this bond, or blood strength. When they smash people, they get fucking pissed and they get more life. All these things are great, but it doesn't make sense that it's positive energy. The healing metabolism, well, if I'm a Warforged have mechanical pieces that are auto-repairing sensors, so when you go below 10 life, and so you're at minus, 1 to 9, if you stay there, eventually it'll say auto-repairing bots will activate, and then you'll heal back up to 1. So clearly, they can auto-repair. Oh, you didn't actually have to type. Okay, so you don't want the prize? Alright, so we're going to have to give it away to somebody else. Jeez, Boardboat. Somebody else is going to win the prize. I apologize. Now we're about to find out who. So let's see here. We're rolling again. And I gotta get it all set up again. You're gonna make me do this. Alrighty. Alright, so congratulations to a Mr. Fire Eater 64. You're the new winner. I'm gonna send you a message to your inbox. And if you would like to receive the Menace of the Underdark expansion pack giveaway. X-Pack. There's no E in X-Pack. Bam. If you'd like that code, please respond to the message and I will send it off to you. So congratulations to Fire Eater 64. Yeah, it's one of those things where it doesn't make sense to me that the Warforged, they can heal themselves. They have that capacity in the game, so this shouldn't be positive energy healing. It even says heal 3d6. I assumed it would apply. It doesn't. Next is then there's the weapon bond. If anything, when you form a weapon bond is one of those things where, you form a bond and it's like positive energy. It's not positive energy. You're like, it's the metal itself that's giving you the strength. And Warforged are metal. They should attune to that more than anybody else. And then finally, blood strength. As I said, you just get pissed off, and then the more you kill, the more health you get. Like, you just get angry. So all these things should be healing, not positive, but just healing, affected by both repair amp and healing amp, and do full to Warforged. They don't. So that's something that don't make sense. But these are all still really good classes. Today, I'm posing a challenge to all of you. So we're gonna be doing the Strim Tom challenge, and because I need help with this. So let me see if I can get a new thing on here. And I should have had this set up beforehand, but I didn't. I need your guys' help because I want to see what I can do with this, because I like to do the maths and figure this stuff out. Today's challenge and discussion, which is why I need you guys in the chat here, is going to be, what is the worst enhancement tree and class? Is the discussion topic for the next half an hour. What is the worst? The absolute worst, the bottom of the barrel, the most useless, the least able to do anything out of all of the character classes in the entire game. Now this is an important question, because it really begs, when you see what is the possible worst, you really have to ask yourself, okay, if this is the worst, why is it the worst? How does it fit in? And then how can we make this changes from the worst to like not being the worst? How do we move that? So this is where I want your guys' ideas to flood in. What do you think is the absolute worst character to play as? So just looking at a character like Barbarian, there's nothing wrong with this. Barbarian's unbelievably good. Tons of healing, tons of damage, tons of blah 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 blah. Amazing. Super awesome, fantastic character classes. Just the best. Great stuff. Healer tree's pretty bad for primarily dealing damage. I'm not entirely sure it's the worst, because you can still heal. Although I do agree with you, it is pretty bad. I do agree, and I'm gonna go into the cleric next so we can take a look at that. Do agree with you, it's really bad. There are a lot of reasons that it's pretty bad. One, it doesn't add to your damage. Two, you can, without any points in devotion or anything, or any of those healing specs, you can heal anyone to full life. The only time you wouldn't be able to do that is if you're healing a Blade Forged. But even then, most of the time they're just going to heal themselves anyway. I swear I clicked log out, didn't I? The game's doing that thing again. Monks aren't amazing. However, they're decently strong. But I do like this. I like the fact that we're bouncing from healers to monks. It's kind of something I've been thinking about over the past little while. My personal opinion... Yeah, no DPS, no utility. I agree with you right there. So we're going to load up a cleric here. This is my cleric. It's just a running down character. I wanted to test out some of the healing capabilities, so I threw something together and played it for a little bit. I agree healer's pretty useless, and we're going to go through exactly why. So, talking about why healer could potentially be useless, really easy right off the bat. Load up this tree, Radiant Servant, right? Alright. The whole idea is you get to heal a lot, but the problem is, like, I don't have any points in Radiant Servant tree. I'm healing myself for 73. Not amazing, but I don't have too much. I have, 92 spell power? Cure Critical Wounds is healing me for 187 with a crit. That's a lot. You put points in the Radiant Servant tree. Pacifism reduces your damage, which is terrible. The Positive Energy Burst is good. It is admittedly decent, because it removes ability damage and negative lives, or negative levels. But Improved Power Healing gives you more healing spell power, which you don't need because you get so many anyway. Positive Energy Shield is, like, not very good because it gives temporary hit points equal to your heal skill, which is going to be around 60, maybe? So that's 60 temporary hit points, like, oh baby, that does nothing. And then Radiant Servant, every 5th spell deals max healing. Well, that's unreliable unless you're counting the spells, but then are you going to have the spell ready for when you need it? Like, not really. Divine Cleansing is kind of good, but everyone just drinks potions with a need. You got Curse, you got Disease, you got whatever, you just drink a potion. So who cares about Divine Cleansing? It's really not very good. Purge Dark Magics could be useful, except for the fact that it costs a turn. It costs a turn to dispel somebody. This is crazy. You play Arcane Archer, you get it's like 2 mana or something, and you dispel 3 effects. So, terrible. Turning is good. You actually get good turns. So I would say here, if you go into turning in Radiant Servant, in Epic Elite, you can turn some ridiculous stuff. I've seen people just wipe the floor with anything Epic Elite and Undead. You just walk around, everything disappears around you. That's pretty cool. But outside of that, Divine Healing's totally useless because it does 4d4 HP. Terrible and useless. Unyielding Sovereignty, that's something you get already. And then the Incredible Healing, you don't need these because, sure, there's no cap on your cast level, but you're going to be casting Heal for almost 800 to 1,000 anyway. So there's no real reason to have it. So yeah, it does give you an auto crit as well, but again, that's every 5th healing spell. So, I mean, if you're thinking about it very strategically, doing like some kind of heavy raid, you could think like, oh, the 5th one will be your mass, and then your mass cure will do the extra, but then you have to sink 20 points in the tree, or sorry, 40 points in the tree. And that's kind of hard. Reactive heal's not very good, because it falls below half. The problem is if you get one shot, you lose it. And Positive Energy Aura is the only good one. And I would argue that if you're playing a melee cleric, having Positive Energy Aura is fantastic. The top floor of melee cleric, Backlash isn't very good, Divine Intervention's not very good, Divine Power, you can just cast it so it's no big deal, and Divine Vessel sucks. It's just terrible. So having Positive Energy Aura is, I would argue, better than War Priest, in pretty much entirely. So if you're going to be a melee cleric, Positive Energy Aura is not that bad. It's still pretty good. But aside from that, I do agree that this one's not very good. Radiant Servant. So Radiant Servant's pretty bad. Zombie Radiant Servant, I don't know about that. I don't know about that one. That seems a bit out there to me. Next, we're going to look at the Monk. So we're going to talk about Monk. Which is worse, the Healer Cleric or the Monk? You guys have any other ideas, or are we just stuck on Monk and Healer Cleric? And the reason I'm bringing this up is because what I want to do is I want to take whatever is the worst that you guys think is just the absolute worst. Because, I mean, even though the healer is not that great for adding damage, there are still situations where sometimes you might want to heal people. For example, if you're playing with your friends and you're not too good at the game, a healer is going to provide a lot more than a monk would. And that's my thought process. If I'm playing with people that aren't very good at the game, as a healer, I can support them very well because I can keep people alive. I can always be rezzing, that kind of thing. If you're playing as a monk, not quite the same thing. So I'm going to pull up a monk here. Then we're going to take a look at the monk tree and see what we can get there. That's just wrong. This is just factually wrong. This is 25. Ugh. All right. Where am I? I'm standing on a thing. Wow, look at all these abilities. Oh, the game's frozen. Alright, loading. Great. So, Monk. Monk's pretty bad. Can't argue with you there. It's bad to go full Monk. Multi-classic's not so bad. You can, the stances that you get, so where are they? These stances, your adept and master and that kind of thing, they're pretty good. A lot of the stances are kind of nice. The key just being able to get some abilities, and then also, where is it here? Is it this one? Yeah, Fist of Iron is a fantastic ability. Just an attack that costs 5 key and does a bunch of extra damage, +1 crit, +1 crit damage. Really nice. It's just nice to have. So multi-classing Monk, no one can argue against being very good. Great saves, evasion. You get lots of benefits, especially if you can remain centered. Fantastic. Ninja Spy still also does a decent amount of damage. A lot of the negative effects, not so bad. However, I do agree, it's not as clear-cut as a fighter. The monks have a lot of big issues. They don't have super high damage like some other classes. You really have to know what you're doing, because look at all these buttons I have to press. Like, look at them. There's so many buttons you have to press. And then if you're trying to play Henshin Mystic, which is a build I'm going to try to make, like, my god. It's pretty hard to do, and I'm not gonna lie, it doesn't even really seem very appealing. So I get to shoot a keybolt though; it's kind of neat. So I can see why this wouldn't be very good. Not only when you're talking about that, so you get no physical resistance rating. Evasion's great, but can you max out your dodge? Now, however, there are some good monk builds, such as the Shuriken monk build. Shuriken monk build is still one of the best monk builds in the entire game, and arguably one of the best range DPS. It's not garbage, but it's still decent. But I would argue that monk might be worse than healer, or at the very least, Henshin Mystic is worse than a healer. Henshin Mystic doesn't really provide anything. Void Strike's really good. Void Strike is very good. However, it's kind of hard to say. Do you guys have any other ideas? Do you have anything else that's stirring in your mind? Any other classes that you might think to yourself? I'm gonna pull up the list so we can take a look. But it's just, I do agree with you. The healer, the fact that you can't really provide a lot of damage to your team, it's not very good. Two-handed fighting melee cleric build. Yeah, I mean, that's a good idea, especially with War Priest. War Priest is really strong, because a lot of the damage it adds. I'm going to quickly go create here. Alright, so just looking through the classes, Fighter, obviously no one's going to argue. Fighter wasn't very good, but now it's better. Fighter's a lot better than it was before. It's got the cool new feats, and it's got easy access to physical resistance rating and magical resistance rating from the new feats. Plus, its tactical DCs are higher than any other class, so it's pretty good. Barbarian, obviously, is amazing. No one's even arguing. Paladin, fantastic. Super high, ridiculous, mega ultra damage, tankiness, fantastic. Monk, really hard to play. Not really that much better, especially because Stunning Fist is great, but Fighter can probably get a higher DC on Stunning Blow, and both Fighter and Paladin can get Stunning Shield for a higher DC than either. So, I mean, it's hard to argue that Monk is pretty good. Then we move on to Spellcasters. Sorcerer. Sorcerer's always good. It does a bunch of damage. Cleric. Cleric's still good because you can either play as this full damage Cleric, but if you go for the healing build, it's not that good. Healing build is just not very good to do. Also, if you want to play a healer that's not a Cleric, Favored Souls get no benefits to healing. I'm going to move my face here. Edit my face. There we go. Favored Souls get absolutely no benefits to healing. So they get lots of mana, but they get no benefit. And Druids also get no benefits to healing. They get a little bit of positive spell power, but not very much. So you're kind of limited there. Wizards are good. Pale Masters are really good and really great to solo, and they just buffed up Archmage like crazy. Eldritch Knight is still garbage. So, yeah. Warlock's OP. Everyone knows this. Warlocks are the best class, so bam. And then finally, looking at the specialist classes, Rangers, I'm playing one. They're unreal. Rogue. Now this is where I want to talk about it. He has a video on why not to use the War Priest tree in a two-handed fighter melee cleric build. I'll have to check that out then, because I mean, imagine that'd be the only way you'd want to do it, right? So if War Priest is bad, I mean, who knows? Maybe War Priest could actually be the worst one. We'll have to see. But Rogue is one of those things that's really hard because they have their assassin tree, which is kind of good, but it then requires a lot of skill and being in sneak all the time. Plus, the assassination effects don't work on most monsters. Like, you can't assassinate a construct, so it kind of makes it a bit harder to play. The mechanic is obviously good. Everyone plays mechanic. If you see a rogue, they're a mechanic. They're sitting there with their crossbow, pew-pew-pewing. And then you have the acrobat, which nobody really plays. I never see a rogue running around with a staff. I've seen a couple rogue barbarians do it, but I've never seen like a full rogue run around with a staff. So I don't know how good that is. I imagine it's pretty good, but I'm not entirely sure. And then you got Bard. Obviously, Bard swashbucklers are crazy good, and a lot of people like the freezing DCs that are coming out of the what do you call it, the War Chanter. So they're still pretty good. And they recently just buffed Spellsinger by crazy and upped its damage by 80%. So an 80% damage increase to Spellsinger, probably pretty good. Gonna have to try that. And then finally, you got the Artificer. Arties are great. They disable traps, which makes them always useful. The pew pew pew, and the Arcano Technician, the elemental damage with the big explosions and lightning everywhere. They up that damage by 80%. So, I mean that's pretty good, right? Can't complain about that one. So, I mean, in my mind, when I think about it, I think the Assassination Rogue might not be that good. I've seen some good Assassination Rogues, but, you know, it's few and far between. But I think it's really going to come down to whether you're talking about, you know, Cleric Healer, absolutely. But I have some ideas. I have some ideas to help these. Cleric Healer I can actually see being useful, and I'll explain to you how. I'm going to show you how to take a Cleric and make it not garbage. I'm going to show you how. So I got to find a character on this list. There we go. I'm going to show you how to take Cleric Healer and make it not garbage. Are you ready? Your mind is about to... I had this build idea. It's great. So, here we go. This is a character that I made. It's Sun Elf. It's hilarious how much negative spell power you can get by multiclassing Wizard and Cleric. So I'm at 234 at level 17, which is nice. But most importantly, 36% spell crit on my negative is hilarious. Not what I wanted to talk about. So, Morning Lord gets access to Arcane Archer, which I don't have on the screen here. But if you play an elf, either a Morning Lord or a regular elf, or even a half-elf, you get access to the Arcane Archer tree. Arcane Archer scales off of Wisdom. The idea being, you would pull up the Radiant Servant tree, you put all your points into Radiant Servant, and then you also go up the Elf, you pull out Arcane Archer, you get Paralyzing Arrows, which scale off of Wisdom, you keep your Wisdom maxed, and you run around with a bow that has Devotion on it, so you get healing out of it, and then you slap on, you go and run around, running and gunning, paralyzing all the monsters, supporting for your team so they don't have to worry about any damage coming in. And then you're back up, you're healing. So you're sitting in the back, healing people that go down, and paralyzing everything. You don't provide a lot of damage, but as long as you can keep your DCs high, I feel like it could work. I feel like that would be a way to actually make the healer class work. You just have to think of it in a non-traditional sense. You have to say, okay, take your mind out of it, and then go for, you're a full healer, but you got the bow to have the paralyzing arrows. Because paralyzing arrows scales off Wisdom. DC is really, really high on paralyzing arrows, especially if you get enchantment effects. If you get like a +7 enchantment item, you know, and you have I don't know, like a 50, 60 wisdom, that kind of thing. You know, you can get a decently high DC on it. In the 80s, ish, but not much higher than that. Still, it's all right, and then you can use that to support your team. As a first life, never, but I think it would be okay. But yeah, so that's definitely something that I think could be looked at when you're talking about trees. I think monks could use some looking at, just some tweaking to give it a reason. I think monks are really good in the sense that they really provide a challenge for a lot of players. When you play as a monk, when you play as a monk, you're like, oh, I'm a badass. And you do all these punches, and you take hours, and you practice, and you work your keyboard, and you get really good at playing this character. And the benefit's not that much better than just playing any other character class. It's more involved, but you don't really do more damage. And there should be like some level of like high skill to slightly increased damage. You know, you should be able to provide more for your team. So I think they just need to tweak some of the numbers, maybe change some of the effects on the monk. I don't know, try to bring it more in line with some of the classes. The problem is, if they make monks better, all it's going to do is make multi-classing better, which really becomes the issue with balancing this game, which is why they had to nerf Paladin. Multi-classing with Paladin was too strong, so they cut that and threw it out the window. They said, Paladin, get out of here. I think it's a great decision, the way they nerfed Paladin, and that you can't get your full charisma to your saves unless you have more levels of Paladin, but they did gut the Paladin. If they made monk better, they'd just be buffing the multi-classers. So I don't know how they would do it. I don't know how they'd keep it in Monk. But we'd have to see. Monk is still a great class, and you'll see monks everywhere. So it's not something that's falling out of fashion. Cleric, though, I agree. Healing as a cleric, it's really hard. So, and healing as other classes is not really important. The trees really provide nothing, and playing as a healer, if you're not the one doing damage, you're not really going to be doing anything. So, it's something to kind of think about, to stay away from, but it's something that maybe we can come up with an idea of how to make healing a little bit more interactive. Because the damage is so spiky in this game, you take all your health and you heal it back very quickly, it's hard for a healer to stay on top of that. So I'm not sure. Acid Lore? No, unfortunately the acid damage can't crit, which I had to check. But yeah, it doesn't crit. What I don't know, and this is the only way I'm thinking about it here. I still have 5 more minutes. So, but I think healer is in fact the worst, with monk coming in as a close second. So any kind of healer and then monk, because clerics are still really good, but monks I don't really know. So I think that's where we came up with. So you know, it's pretty good. Healing is really important. Like if you've done Defiler of the Just on Epic Elite, you need 2 healers for that raid. You can't do it without 2 healers. You need 2 healers, like clerics, whatever, in Unyielding Sentinel, so they have like 1500 life and tons of DR, and they need to be full healers, just healing people. If you don't have that, you're probably not going to be able to do it on Epic Elite, because the damage in that raid is crazy. Especially when all the Pit Lords spawn right at the end, right before you phase transition to the final boss. So, healers are still good there. One thing I did want to look at, do I have a sorcerer here? Yeah, I have a sorcerer. I like having characters I can just pull up. One thing I wanted to look at, and I don't know if this works, I'm going to do some testing, but we'll find out. Once I'm done this on my ranger, I'm going to get to level 30, I'm going to respec into a full intelligence build and go full spell power build and see what I can do. However, I am wondering if there's a way to make it slightly better. You see, sorcerers have all sorts of different savants. So if you take Earth Savant, putting points in here gives you acid spell power, so that would benefit the acid damage. But then you also get Erosion, so when you deal damage with an acid spell, you get acid spell power, so that'd be 25. And you get, not the spell critical, but you get the ability to penetrate acid resistance. So what I'm wondering, potentially, if you put in a couple levels of Sorcerer, mixed in with your Ranger and Arcane Archer, so you did like 18-2, and you took Acid from here, does the acid damage on the bow shots count as a spell for activating the whenever you cast an acid spell? I know you might think it doesn't, and it might not. I don't know. I have to test it, and I'm going to test it. But the reason I asked this question, and I'm going to look into it, is because a lot of the effects that count as spells work with a lot of the Warlock's Eldritch Blasts and even their passives. So I'm wondering if it's possible, if there might be some weird coding because it scales off spell power, it might count as a spell. I'm going to look into that, we're going to see, and I'll let you know, but I don't know. I know there are already a lot of clickies, but if they had more strikes to actually use key, that could be better. When I play Monk, I use a full key and nothing to use it on. Exactly. That's kind of an issue. I think the issue is not so much that you have full key, but yeah, it's easier. It's easier and most times even better to just punch the enemies until they die instead of actually pressing the buttons on the keyboard, because they don't really increase your damage that much. I mean, all you really want to do is keep, Walk of the Sun up, so you get that +2, and then outside of that, who cares? And it's a courage bonus. It's not even going to stack with most effects, so I don't know. But I'll have to let you guys know. I'll be updating the build guide on my Arcane Archer, and when I actually finish and I respec into full acid, I'll let you know. But I'm not entirely sure if that would work. I'm going to check here. I just realized I should check my messages, see if I actually got a response. I did not get a response. So I did a couple rolls, so I know who's going to be the next winner. So if nobody responds, so if Fire Eater 64 does not respond to my message within 24 hours, I put that in the message, then the next person on the list will win. So if you're entered in and you didn't win, there's still a chance you could receive a message tomorrow saying, "Hey, by the way, prizes." So you never know. So if you're in here, Fire Eater 64, make sure you respond to my message before 24 hours. You have to do that. If you don't respond, you can't win. There's nothing else I can do for you. Perfect. Alrighty. Now, I'm pretty much done my stream for the day. So I want to thank you guys for the watching. If you're interested and you think what I do is kind of nifty, you can always check out my stream, which I'm typing up here in the top. This is my stream. Oh, that's too big. This is my stream right here. So if you want to check me out, I do stream relatively irregularly, and I also do some fun things. I did an all-night Christmas stream where I streamed from 10 at night on Christmas Eve until 4 a.m. Christmas morning, and I gave some prizes away. It was a lot of fun for those of you that were there. And I stream irregularly, but I try to have fun with it. So if you like that, please check it out. Or if you just don't have time to watch some kid stream whenever, and you'd rather just play the game yourself, make sure you tune in to the DDO stream every Monday from 7 to 10 to catch this stream right here. I'm going to be updating my build guide with more information about the epics, so that we can, if you're still wondering about how it's going, I'll have a whole details thing set up there. So thank you for watching. You guys have been fantastic. I love seeing you guys in the chat and having fun. Hopefully everybody had a great time. So I'll get you guys around. I don't know how to end this, so I'm going to keep doing this thing with my fingers. I'm probably going to do a little bit of an extra stream on my own channel. I just only stream until 10 here, and I really have to take a bathroom break. So have a great night, everyone, and I'll see you guys next Monday with another thought-provoking discussion and ideas. And I'm actually hoping I might have my whole build figured out, and I might be able to start next stream with a fresh TR, which is my plan. I want to start next stream with a fresh TR of a really, really fucking terrible build. So, peace.